Brandon.
What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to Play the Xbox Podcast, episode 21. I am your host, the Best Spot, aka Kid Smooth. We in the building. We got a good show today. Episode 21. We talking about Xbox because Xbox Daily stay getting the hate, and we're gonna have Optimus Code come here, and I'm gonna have to school him because he's been getting on the nerve. So we gonna settle that. He's gonna come through sometime between like now and
Optimus
9 p.m.
Prime.
So, but yeah, man, shout out to somebody in the chat named Brandon. Shout out, that's my little cousin Brandon. Shout out to you.
Is that Harlem?
No, that's not Harlem.
Oh, okay.
Harlem is a good friend. Brandon is my cousin through marriage. But shout out to Brandon. Thanks for tuning in. I'm happy to see you in the chat though. All right, so let's who we got here today? Let's start off with Dope Boy Jay. How are you?
You're doing good, man. A lot of gaming going on. Can't wait for Ghost of Tsushima. This Friday it's gonna be fire. Gonna be live streaming that, so make sure you guys tune in. I think I might do a Halo 3 stream tonight as well. Play some multiplayer, so if anybody's down, Halo 3 PC, let me know. And yeah, we're gonna have a good episode.
Yeah, I was watching Bond play that earlier today. Man, Nick Banks.
What's going on, everybody? What's up to the chat? What's going on to the panel? We all here, you know. And I've been excited lately, not for Ghost of Tsushima, but the upcoming Spider-Man DLC, you know, that's coming out for the PS5. I was just thinking about that earlier.
That can't wait getting them pissed off, man.
I know, right?
Yeah, they about to be coming for your knees, bro.
Nah, man. They know I'm trolling. But yeah, let's go.
Oh man, shout out to Dirt Griggity. He says, "Kid Smooth, my hero."
Dirt Griggity.
Shout out to Dirt. We gotta get Dirt on here again when he's not.
Yo, Dirt, what happened? Hey, don't you got a podcast?
You typically have a podcast. You have no excuse. You shouldn't be in the chat if you're supposed to be in the podcast.
Nah, he's too worried about them PS4 kids that can't upgrade to the PS5. He's too worried about that.
Yeah, you definitely gotta get Dirt on there.
Chris Righteous.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy to be here. Happy to talk about these topics. Happy for Friday for Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm looking forward to next week. Next week is going to be a lot of news. We finally get to see, some next generation Xbox Series X games, hopefully running on the hardware. So let's get it.
And Koi.
Yeah, Smooth. There you go.
I said it right.
There you go. Yeah, man. Hey, how's everybody doing? How's the chat panel? Like, we about to get it in. Let's go.
I apologize. Let me make sure you guys' volume is up because my volume tend to be super dumb loud. All right, so couple things, man. First, we're gonna talk about Ghost of Tsushima. Metascores just came out, and I don't know what you guys.
You said what?
Ghost
Tsushima?
of Tsushima, Shishima.
Tsushima.
The Metascores finally went live, and right now it's sitting pretty at an 84. I think I predicted that last week.
I think you did.
I think I did. But 84, nevertheless, the game looks good. I got to see the reviews, the Digital Foundry stuff, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that before we get into the spicy Xbox stuff. This is playing Xbox, but we do take our daily shot at PlayStation because we have a resident pony in the building, and we gotta beat up on Chris so he could take that ass whooping to that salty podcast when we're all done. So,
oh man,
I'm bulletproof, boy.
Wow.
Good shot, Smooth.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you ain't gonna beat me up. I'm Samson.
All right, so Ghost of Tsushima, it's a meta 84, and I'm just gonna give you guys a quick question. Like, was that where you expected it, below what you expected it, or above what you expected it to be?
Below.
Below.
I was expecting either high 80s or low 90s.
It was a little higher for me. Well, y'all know when we had our predictions, I predicted 82. After I seen the combat,
I didn't.
And it's been an issue with me for years. They even recorded some footage of me saying I didn't see no gameplay, but I was being sarcastic, actually. Like, I just didn't see anything that new. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it looked like a good game, though.
The thing is, it's exactly where I thought it would be. I mean, 84 is not bad.
shit.
I mean, 84
Nah, it's
is
great.
not bad at all.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that
not.
means it's just as
not
good
bad.
as Gears 5.
And
Yep.
just as good as Halo 5 Guardians, you know, the game
Hey.
that, people call whack.
But you know what? I still think that I still don't believe that Assassin's Creed is gonna get higher than that.
What?
It's
Yeah.
not.
All right,
So
bro.
it's not.
Assassin's
This-
Creed
this is-
81.
This
All
is
right, even if
Valhalla,
even
we
if it-
either Valhalla
Smooth,
probably
let
be the
him
same
rock,
score.
Smooth,
It
let
will
him
probably
rock.
be the same score or less. It's not
Dude,
going to score higher.
This is
No,
the
no.
I
See,
thought
it
it was going
may
to be a 90.
it may be a point higher. Like I feel like it may be a point higher. I don't know why
Minus
like
10.
I feel that, but
Yeah.
it's just like I feel like it'd be a point higher.
He said
Minus
point
ten.
blank.
85.
Like I mean, we're the. All right, what I suspected it to be. I mean, it did hit lower than I expected. I'm not even gonna lie. So like, I mean, but then at the same time, with the things that I've been reading, I mean, like I get why it got what it got. Like, but
Let me tell you guys something though. There's a couple of guys that didn't publish their reviews yet. Kotaku
Yeah.
didn't do it. Eurogamer, CNET, The Verge, Vice. There's a couple of other guys
Didn't
that
Kotaku
didn't publish
do
their
it, though?
reviews.
Well,
No,
because
they
I
didn't
know
put
your
the-
your
they
game
didn't-
doesn't drop scores.
I know
Yeah.
at
Or
time-
The Verge.
Yeah,
I don't
and
think The
neither
Verge
does
does either.
Kotaku.
Yeah,
It
neither
was-
does Kotaku. They don't
We
drop
still,
scores.
we still got some more reviews. You know,
Oh,
it could go
shit.
to 85.
I mean, how high
30,
you
so-
think it's gonna
Why
go?
you want this game to be so high, bro? It's just a movie. Like, come on, bro.
Listen, man.
Couple
Oh, man.
of dudes got fired in Sony Pictures, and
It's
they
not
thought they
just-
found a spot for them.
Yeah,
know,
they
down
put them
there
in
at
Sony
PlayStation.
games. Yeah, they put them in
My
Sony
thing is,
Studios,
right,
PlayStation Studios.
This is the perfect storm for me because this is exactly where I needed this game to score. Right, I needed it to score at 84.
I know you were
or
happy,
below
Smooth.
because that gives
The bet.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla a chance. Because
chance.
I think Valhalla can. I think the most Valhalla is probably going to score. I think Valhalla is going to score between an 85 and an 87. That's what I truly believe. If Ghost of Tsushima scored an 89 or a 90, I felt I would have been like, damn, I would have gave BG his money like right then and there because Assassin's Creed don't score 90s. They just don't for whatever reasons. But I do feel like they've been ever since they did the change. They are trending upward and they go up 2 points per game. So Origins went from it was I think 81 it set it around, and then Odyssey is an 83. Valhalla, I mean, it could be an 85. 85, 80. And I don't care where it comes at. As long as it's above an 84, I'm good.
Odyssey,
good.
Odyssey was just like a better version of Origins, even though I know a lot of people love Origins for the fact that it was like more Egyptian settings and stuff like
better
that.
setting, yeah.
Shit, I liked Origins more.
I loved Origins.
I liked
So-
Origins, yeah.
Unless Valhalla is like a drastic improvement of Odyssey, if it's more or less the same with just some added stuff in it, I don't see how it can get above Odyssey. To be honest,
But I mean,
it's
that's
different.
what
I
like
watched
so
some more
many
gameplay of
sequels
that
are
bad boy.
though. Like yeah, go ahead.
No, I was saying I watched more gameplay. One again, different scenery is Vikings. Vikings, thanks to God of War. God of War is going to be the reason this God of War and Hellblade and all those games is going to be the reason this game gets 3 point higher than it was originally targeting because it's a better setting. It's the it setting. The Vikings, Norse mythology and stuff like that. It's the it thing, throwing axes and shit. Like I'm with it.
The combat actually looked pretty good.
Yeah, it looks
from what
dope.
I've
You know what I
seen.
mean? Here I am falling for Chris's bullshit.
But,
I
yo,
actually got the
Smooth,
time to-
my bullshit. What I say?
You were clowning the combat. You had me feeling a type insecure about the freaking game, and then I got the
The combat
time
doesn't look amazing. It
to
don't.
watch it.
I
And then
mean-
what's
It
the
looks just
ACG?
like Odyssey.
ACG
Nah,
put
it don't
out,
look like Odyssey.
ACG
I
put
seen-
out some gameplay.
Absolutely.
and
No,
it
when
was
you
dope.
saying gameplay, what are you saying? Like, what are you thinking when you're saying gameplay? Like certain
the combat.
mechanics?
The combat.
Well,
It looks very similar to older
I
games.
haven't
They added
seen-
a couple new stuff to it, but it's nothing
Yeah,
revolutionary.
I still need
But
to
that's
see
like,
more.
but like,
The only thing
but
new
people
that I
have
saw-
said the same thing shit about Tsushima though. It was just like from Imran Khan, who used
Hey.
to work for Game Informer, I think. It was just like I read what he said. Oh shit, who is that?
I think he had this attack. He had
What?
Yo,
What
what
the
the
hell
hell?
is that?
Yo,
you
Jay,
going on?
your mic,
This?
your
Hey,
background,
what are you talking about?
your background.
No, it's like
not me.
somebody TV on or something like that.
I don't know. Close my door.
Oh shit, that was Coke Boy had a sale.
Oh no! Oh no! But it was like, I mean, they said that, like, I mean, it's from I don't think he was talking about like gameplay, but it was just like he did compare it to The Witcher, Breath of the Wild, and shit like that. But he said it didn't stack up to those games, and it was like that it felt very soulless. And it was like it delivered on certain things, and I was like, "Wow!" Like I never got that from what I saw.
Because we saw smoke and mirrors, bro.
Right, like you did. They didn't really show that much. Really, they showed a bunch of cinematic scenes.
Two highlights I want to point out from reviews that I saw that kind of had this game.
I haven't seen any.
The game looks gorgeous.
I haven't watched or read any reviews at all.
The AI is dumb when you get stealth
so
mode. That's one thing they were talking about. It's like if you break stealth and
I did.
It's like the AI don't know what to fucking do, so they get completely stupid. So this dude ran it in the IGN's review. This dude ran into a hut right after he broke cover. He ran into a hut, and they all came in. I think one by one, but they all came in to be executed like in stealth. But they were all alerted. Like one dude came in blowing the horn in front of your face, but he ain't do nothing to you. So it was just like,
wait. So they're criticizing the AI of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's other games that have worse AIs. Naughty Dog always had shitty AI in their game.
Coke Boy, what are you doing?
Halo-
Hold up, Coke Boy. Hold
Halo
up,
doesn't have the greatest AI.
Smooth.
Like, come on, man. And then Assassin's Creed.
I do the same
wanna
shit.
talk
I be
about-
in one bush.
Yo,
I be
stop
in
this
one
capping,
bush in
dog.
Assassin's Creed. I be in one bush in Odyssey, and I'll kill the whole freaking army because they'll just come to that one bush.
no, that means
Right,
you did a
man.
good job hiding.
No, but that's why they call it that it's too much like Assassin's Creed. Did you see that part in the review? Like the guy was like, it's just too much like Assassin's Creed.
I've been
Like,
watching the
bruh.
reviews.
but that's like, this is what I'm saying. Coke Boy, you want to be capping for this shit, bro?
I'm
not
bring it
capping
up.
for it.
Don't
This
put-
game's
don't
gonna
bring-
be fire.
Hold on, yo. Hold up,
It's
man.
gonna be
I got
weak.
some
If you
smoke for
like
Coke
it like
Boy.
that's fine.
It's two other
It
things.
doesn't.
Coke Boy talking about Last
The
of Us 2.
game's
Don't
gonna
bring Last of Us 2
The
in this
game
shit,
is
bro.
going to
At least
be
Cold Boy
fire.
is actually gonna play the game.
Two
try
other
for himself.
things. I mean,
You said
I'm
you said The Last of Us 2.
Hey,
has the
I'd rather
AI
play
you
Last of
ever
Us 2 than some goddamn, you know
Did
what I
you
mean?
play Last of Us
Assassin.
2?
I would rather play Last of Us 2.
He said
I
he
am
would
gonna
rather.
play.
Did you play?
No, I didn't, but I'm not gonna play Ghost of Tsushima. That shit look like Assassin's Creed. I'm not playing Assassin's
hold up.
Creed
Hold up.
or Ghost of.
Jack's move. Last of Us 2 does have good AI, but every other Naughty Dog
Yeah, the
game,
AI.
like Uncharted, isn't that great.
I mean,
Just
I'm
just
No,
saying
the
that.
AI is not that.
Just saying that.
the other two
The-
things is that
great,
No,
but like it's
you
just
gotta
the
turn
point
the
that-
difficulty up.
that
Yeah.
they were the point that they were making is still stands that was his experience, and the dude, like, he caught footage of his experience. Like, I don't know, like maybe it isn't like that the whole time, who knows, maybe he just got that rare occurrence that some shit was just off, like, we don't know. But I mean, this is what he left like with his review. This is how he left off with his review. He didn't fuck with the AI. Like, I mean,
they said the game is not polished. There's clips of the dude's like feet going through the floor when he's on flat surface, so they didn't pay attention to like him, walking on the ground. And then there's two performance. There's a quality mode and a performance mode, but both modes are targeting 30 frames per second.
Yeah, so like Horizon.
yeah,
The same thing Horizon did.
But why?
I don't know. It's just to
You won't-
keep
you
the-
won't get-
it's
you
to
won't
keep
get
the
frame
30 more
drop.
Stable.
Yeah,
won't
you
get
gotta
frame
keep it
drop
stable.
I don't have an issue with that. Only thing I got an issue with is
I mean, I'd be why I have it there. It's like
I would be upset, but I mean, I'm on Xbox, so I ain't really. I mean, when I'm putting in frame rate mode, grounded, like, come on, bro. Like, but I'm just criticizing, like, dudes comparing it. Like, all right, so the reviewers compared it to Assassin's Creed, then they showed you how the AI is similar to it. That's a valid point. That's all I'm saying. But don't bring Last of Us 2 and all these other games in there. We seen how good the AI is in Last of Us 2, and it improved.
Yeah, on the highest
You
difficulty.
know what I mean? I mean, from what I've seen, I didn't
I'm
play
gonna
it.
get- I'm gonna get
Chris,
the-
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna get the game. I'm gonna stream it like I streamed The Last of Us 2. It looks,
mhm.
in all, it looks dope. I
it
think
good.
I've seen enough to the point. I think I'll
I'm very
enjoy
excited
it.
for it.
You know what I mean? So it looks cool.
No, like the thing that they really did, and that I can really just like commend is just like Sony, just with like the animations and shit like that. Like, they really take their time out to really make sure that, like, Minus what fucking
Kingdom.
Smooth said shit about the clipping and all of that stuff. I don't know shit if that's like a usual thing that occurs in the game, but I could say that like when they work on animations of like facial or like movement and like how the character interacts with the environments, this shit be fucking fire. Like, so It's like I give them props where they're due, but at the same time, like, I mean, I've just read just some of the reviews and I was like, all right, like some people are gonna be mad about this shit.
Yo, listen,
but,
man.
I mean,
You either gotta watch me or Smooth stream the game. You gotta watch me or Smooth stream the game.
Yeah,
come
I'm
Friday,
gonna watch
right?
I'm gonna
Watch us play the game. Smooth is gonna be amazing. You're gonna touch that game. He's like, damn, this is something different, man. Now about these people on Twitter, because I've seen lots of people trying to take certain clips of the game. These were the most trash players, right? That that didn't know how to parry, didn't know how to block, getting fucked up. Yeah, they getting fucked up by the AI, and people talking about, oh, the gameplay doesn't look good. No, you're watching somebody bad at the game play the game.
Yeah,
like, somebody clearly doesn't know how to parry and how to block. Like, they don't know the combat.
Yeah, that's what I was saying when I was. I mean, when I seen Smooth posted, I was like, "Damn, I'm more worried about who playing the motherfucker."
Yeah, somebody playing that game's ass.
Like, dude was jumping.
In the air,
I'm like, what the hell? You think this Mario?
He was swinging at the enemy. He was like 20 feet away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting like 10-hit combo like it was Tekken.
They went into it thinking that this was like a 1-for-1 shit Assassin's Creed game, and this jump wasn't playing like that. It's not designed that way. You get what I'm saying? It may have certain similarities that like folks have pointed out, but it's not like completely that way.
Yeah, you're not gonna be button mashing.
Yeah, they did say that because there are stances that I saw and that I heard for that you have to switch between for folks with different weaponry. So that is cool too as well. So
hold on, let me address something. And like, I think the dude was saying, how didn't I play Last of Us 2? What else is out? You're right. I don't have a PlayStation 4 right now, but I bought my PlayStation like in 2014. I bought all my multi-plats on there, Call of Duty, everything, because 1080p made me a better gamer.
What do you mean? What else is
I played? Hold on, but and also fucking Horizon was the best game I played this generation. Best new IP I played.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, new IP, yeah, for sure.
And the other guy said that, you know what I mean, I'm hating on Grounded. I'm not. I actually like Grounded, but I'm not gonna criticize the damn game yet, I'm not gonna criticize a performance mode when I'm gonna play Grounded, is what I meant by that.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, I got a question for you guys, right? So, who did it better with the game cases? PlayStation?
Really, dude?
Or
wow, that's
Xbox. I'm just saying, I don't really care.
Xbox case.
Oh shit! Look at that. I don't know. Godfall look a little good on the screen right now.
Nah, I don't even like the damn game, so I can't. I can't.
Yo, PlayStation look way better than that bullshit.
Hold on, I gotta see because I ain't really paying attention to no box. We doing box art now. That's what the console was.
I guess so. I guess so.
I guarantee you, Smooth gonna say Xbox. Guarantee
Hold on, I got a legit argument, right? All right.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
True, geeky.
All right, this is what I say. And they both technically use the same cases. Like they ain't spend no more money on changing the color of the plastic, right? PlayStation 5 is using the PlayStation 4 hardware case, right? It's just the paper is different. Now,
where's Bond? Oh, there he is.
Bond right here.
Are y'all arguing about game cases?
Nah, that's what they do.
Nah, that's
like, which one did it better, PS5 or Xbox? PS5.
I'm gonna say
he said trash that. This dude saw
blue is naturally blue to me is a better color than green. It's just more accepted. I mean, it is what it is. It has nothing to do with console. Just blue is a better color than green, right? However, like blue on PlayStation 4, the blue on PlayStation 4 casing looks good. The white, black, and blue, I don't think looks good because it's too much blue.
I feel like it's too
that
much
white
fucking
should be
white.
black.
Yeah,
and
no,
the-
It should be black.
and the
that's what I was
PS5 should
thinking.
be white. Like that, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
You
really
don't think the
care.
green
Like,
on the
what?
Xbox case is too much green? I think there's too much
I
green
mean,
on the
it's
Xbox
the
case.
same though. It ain't even changed. And I'm not saying I like it, but I
Not
mean,
with
I
all
don't
the
really.
stickers on there.
care.
Oh, stickers.
It's only one stamp
Hey.
on there, bro.
The difference.
Yeah, like
The difference
Yes,
between
yeah.
the Xbox
People
case
are-
and the PlayStation case is
Come on,
that,
Chris.
like,
Take-
regardless of what Xbox you got at home, you grabbing one case, and your fist is going to
Yo.
work on either one. So I mean,
Yo, did you see what Geeky said in the chat? He says, "Is the disc still gonna be on the wrong side or not?"
And Jack
I
said
mean, I
green
don't
is
know.
favorite color. Jack, you had to cop that one, man.
Cop
Yeah,
the
man.
Xbox.
shout out to
Thanks.
Emmanuel A1. He says, "Less ponies on here, more Xbox dudes. Please smooth." There's,
Who said that?
I mean, why
Emmanuel
would
A1.
everybody think I'm
We-
a pony, bro?
we had-
Like, I don't know. Like, I've been getting that.
Nah,
Like,
Halo
these-
Infinite.
Chris is actually
There's
somewhat
only-
outnumbered. It's just that sometimes, PlayStation come out with games where Dope Boy
You get
comes to
favored.
and get,
There's only
Nah,
one pony
Dope
on
Boy
there.
capping, man. I'm on
What you-
Dope Boy Hill.
What are you talking
I'm on
about,
Dope
man?
Boy Hill.
Ghost is gonna be
I
fire.
got you. Who said that, yo? Who said
This
that in
man,
the chat?
yo, these people want that circle jerk podcast.
Oh,
where you
man.
gotta
Yo, I
suck
got
Phil
you,
off.
fam.
Nobody
I'm
said
on his
nothing.
heels, man. I'm on his
Nobody
heels.
He said,
said
I'm
nothing
on
bad
his
about Daddy
heels.
Phil.
He said, I'm on his heel.
Do y'all understand you're literally talking about game cases?
Bond. It's a
I am,
topic,
yo, Smooth brought
and
this
it's
shit
not
up.
even a long topic. Just wanted to throw it out there. You know what I mean?
I don't care, man. Bond
Me personally,
digital.
I don't really give a damn.
I was
Okay,
about to
man,
say,
well
do
said
any
that.
of you even buy physical?
No, I don't.
Hell
so that's
no,
why
I
it
don't.
doesn't
Every
matter
now and
to
again,
me.
I'll buy physical, but most of my shit is digital. That's why I don't really care about.
You
Shit,
talking
all
about-
my shit's digital, so it's
Chris.
like, I mean, I saw people arguing about this shit on Twitter. I literally didn't give a fuck because it's gonna be digital. So it is what it is.
I think Nintendo, like, that's the only console people buying discs for, dog. Really?
Yeah.
Like, majority.
Cards. Like, I don't know. I don't even know if they're not yet. They're not this. They're like.
I think
I
it's
mean,
like
yeah,
I think
it's
it's
It
like
would make more sense to buy digital on a portable device, though. To be
it
honest,
does. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, when I had mine, I'm, shit. Oh.
yeah, like the Switch, but the Switch freaking only has like freaking 10 gigabytes of space when you first
That's
buy
the
it.
thing.
You gotta
I
get
got
a fucking-
I got the SD card in there though.
Yeah,
I got
you gotta get the
128.
SD card. You
128
gotta get an
gigs.
SD card. You gotta buy Ethernet port if you want to play online. Like,
No,
you
you
can use
don't.
Wi-Fi. No,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
you
use
do.
Wi-Fi,
You do.
but I'm just saying. But
Yeah.
who wants to play? You know, Splatoon or Smash Brothers in Wi-Fi?
Who wants to play that shit anyway? Like,
And Chris.
A lot of
Talking
people.
about Smash.
Well,
That's
hold
talking
on.
about Smash, man.
More people are playing Splatoon online than what
no,
you guys
don't do it.
advertise.
Don't. You was about to do it.
I mean, Splatoon's a more popular game than Halo.
Oh no.
Wow, that's
Hold on. Don't let Bond get away with this shit. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
that sounds like drugs, bro.
Them numbers can be looked up.
We're gonna look them up right now. Splatoon 2 sold over 10 million.
No. That's not what you said. You
I said
more people
Splatoon
online.
is more popular than Halo.
Popular
Halo-
as in concurrent players, or popular
Right
as in the
now,
total?
as of present time, Splatoon is more popular than Halo. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
to people that only play
Monthly-
Nintendo.
Monthly active users, because the definition of popular is somebody that's actually still popping, right?
How do you know if somebody's playing Halo offline and not online?
Bro, we just seen the numbers. Like, what are you talking about? What are you
I'm
talking about?
just
Halo
saying.
5? Oh, if you're talking about Halo 5, you might be. Nah. I don't
Do you
know.
mean Halo as an entire franchise?
Yeah,
No,
like,
we're talking about Halo right now, which would be the current Halo 5 game.
Okay, Halo.
The
5.
franchise of Halo, as it stands right now, Splatoon is more popular than
No, it's
Halo.
not. Splatoon is not more popular than the
Splatoon
franchise
has
of Halo.
sold
Which one?
over
Splatoon
10
one or
million.
two?
How much Halo sold?
You can-
All the franchises
Dude,
combined.
how-
Like, how much did it sell?
He's talking. He's comparing the one specific.
You
game
can't
this
compare
generation.
Halo 1, 2, and 3 to now. That's like saying that 989 Studios is a more popular sports
Bruh,
game
No,
I'm
than
about
some
to.
jabroni sports game today because
Hold
they
on,
have more total sales.
He's comparing the last
Sales?
Halo game.
I'm
versus
comparing-
Halo 5.
At present time, hell, even
Jeez.
Horizon Zero Dawn is more popular than Halo
Get
at
the
present time.
Fuck.
Horizon's still more than 10 million.
So you're going based on that makes no sense. Bro.
No, you gotta go by the active users, bro. You can't go by how many are sold.
You guys are part of this Xbox.
All right, so
answer the question.
All right, Bond, is Kinect more popular than PSVR?
No, it's not being supported.
Come on! But it's sold over 25 million.
Let him go.
That is like saying, is PlayStation 2 more popular than Xbox One? No, it's not. The PlayStation 2 is not in production anymore. Wow, despite it selling more, the PlayStation popularity. 2 is not. No, the popularity is determined on how much money people spent to buy a product.
Well, technically, Halo 5 isn't in production anymore.
Okay.
The game came out in 2015.
Yeah, and Splatoon came out in 2017. What's your point?
All right, dude. You can have it.
So sales equate to popularity?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Hold up. Since when did sales not equate to popularity?
So, all right, with that same logic,
okay.
What sold more, Halo 3 or Splatoon 2? Like, what are we doing here?
Again, you're talking about Halo 3. I'm talking about Halo now, not Halo back then.
Do y'all hear what
Do we include MCC in this?
5
I'm sorry?
Do we include Master Chief Collection? Because Master Chief Collection is still a current Halo game that's still being sold.
But y'all not understanding what Bond's saying, though. He's saying popularity is how much a game
Halo
sold.
at present day is not as popular as Splatoon 2. That is a fact. Cannot be debated.
No, it's not. Because now
how is it not a fact?
So that means you're only weighing popularity based off of recent sales?
Off of sales?
No, because there's a lot of people playing Halo that didn't pay $60
people bought it, so more people know about it.
No. That's not how it works.
How do you determine popularity?
I just want to understand.
Right now, there's millions of people playing Halo that didn't even buy it.
What is more popular? Xbox, PlayStation, or Switch?
PlayStation.
Switch.
And why is PlayStation?
Now what's Smooth to say?
And why
Smooth, which one's more popular?
Y'all fucking with Smooth, man.
Smooth.
It's a combination of.
Bro, you can have an argument.
By Bond's logic, the Switch is the most popular. It outsells the PS4. Okay, now that's the reason why y'all niggas don't talk about MPD no more.
There are more PlayStation 4 sales out there than Switch.
No, nigga, we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that because the Switch consistently outsells the PS4 currently.
It sold fast.
Y'all switched the argument, dog. You had Bond. No, you had Bond because what Bond was saying was because Splatoon sold how many copies it sold?
10 million.
10 million
from the last report.
And anything that prior to that sold more is more popular, correct?
If something sold more than repeat what you're trying to say.
No, what I'm saying is you said because since you said we're not going off who's playing it now, then you're going off.
You guys are into these stupid Xbox metrics of game trash. Popularity is determined by sales. Period.
Yeah, that's true.
Yo, that's
it. There's no other discussion.
Yeah, but
popularity.
Okay. No, I got him on the rope. I'm jabbing him. Hold on. I got him. Hold up. So, Drive Club, and I'm gonna bring this back up. It sold 2 million. Game. Yeah, and it's dead because it didn't get supported. No concurrent players. That matters.
Dead game. So
I didn't say it was dead. I didn't say. No, what I'm saying is popularity.
Drive Club 2.
The argument is popularity with me. Like you're basing popularity off of what something.
You know why your argument doesn't work. You know why your argument doesn't work? Because popular things can still die, but that doesn't mean they're not popular. Something popular can still die out. That does not mean it's not popular.
I don't know anybody.
Your arguments are irrelevant. Popularity is based on sales. The end.
He's Michael Jackson.
Okay, so
Sea of Thieves is more popular.
What determines whose music's the most popular? How much you've sold.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna drop Halo.
because music don't sell anymore. They do.
That's how much the shit gets streamed. It's how much the shit gets streamed.
Hold on. He got me.
No, he don't. No.
Hold on, Smooth. Hold up. I got him. I'm gonna use a PlayStation game. Uncharted sold more than Splatoon. Is that more popular than Splatoon right now?
Way more popular than Splatoon. That's why Uncharted is actually getting a movie.
Okay, so you win the argument then. Since I'm not gonna.
What kind of common sense?
I just wanted to know where you was at.
Are you guys?
You said Xbox metrics. I only used it because I think something is more popular.
What's happening? If you guys are
if it's a multiplayer
when
game,
COVID is over, bro. When COVID is over, I'm gonna walk around my town and ask a bunch of random people if they know.
You guys are
literally yo, you trying to play Splatoon,
bro? You know what, Smooth? You better ask a bunch of little kids in your little poll, and you're gonna get locked up.
You trying to play Splatoon or Halo?
Hold on. I got a question. How many of y'all still playing Bleeding Edge that just came out a couple months ago?
Oh Lord,
that shit was a flop, man. And it was a flop.
Like I really thought you guys were trolling me right here.
Nah, man. When you talking about a multiplayer game, and like I said, if nobody is, I don't know if nobody is playing some Splatoon. That's why I was going to look up the monthly active users and compare them. Yeah, and that's where I was going to get my, I see more but if you want to say sales, then sales. Let's go.
I mean, yeah.
It might be 5 people playing Splatoon 2. I don't know that shit.
Yeah, here we go.
I don't care how much Splatoon could sell 100 million. That shit is still popular than Halo. Hell out of here with that bullshit.
It is.
Nah, nope.
Halo is not as popular as it once was. Smooth.
No, it's not. But it's.
I think Halo Infinite is probably.
Halo Combat Evolved was the premium shooter. Halo 2 was the premium shooter. Halo 3 came out when the PlayStation 3 launched. Your choice was literally a PlayStation 3 for $600 or a $400 console with Halo 3. It was not. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah, it was a.
It was a no-brainer.
Yeah, Microsoft destroyed PlayStation at the beginning last year.
They literally put their biggest gun in the face of Sony's $600 trash box at the beginning of the gen. And you know what the funny thing is? I was actually looking up Halo 3 because I just completed on Legendary like a true best spot, and I did not. I did not notice this. Actually, was it Halo 3 or Halo 2? Let me figure this out. Apparently, I actually posted this in the weapon wheel. Bungie had issues with Halo with Microsoft with Halo 2, and they wanted to get out of Halo. They wanted to get out of Halo with Halo after Halo 2, but they had to do Halo 3 and Reach.
Yeah, they still got the contract. But here's another thing. Here's another thing about Bungie. In the midway of development, they actually had to scrap an engine that they were using because they were working on a new engine. They had to scrap it and go back to the old engine as well. Because you remember that E3 demo? That E3 demo is nothing from what we saw inside the Halo 2 release that we got from the game that we have today. So like development was really rocky for that game as well.
Here's this is during Halo 2. Lingering dissatisfaction with Bungie's acquisition by Microsoft in 2000 and a desire for a more favorable profit sharing on Halo 3 led to an agreement where Bungie would become an independent studio after shipping a set number of Halo games. I'm assuming that included the then coming Halo 3, ODST, and Reach.
Yeah.
So Bungie was dissatisfied making the second game, which is crazy to me.
It was their fault, though.
Then they went to Activision and got screwed more.
Hey.
Hold on, man. Hold up, man. I'm mad about that. Apparently. I'm mad about that, L. Hold up, Bond. You still play multiplayer, man? Like, play any multiplayer game?
Is Destiny 2 more popular than Halo? I'm asking.
Destiny is probably way more popular than Halo. Destiny's one of the popular games around.
Halo, Smooth.
Destiny 2 sells more than Halo.
This generation.
Yes, the first game and the second game. And they have more players.
Both their games rated lower than any other Halo.
We're not talking about rating.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
About popularity.
Yeah, fuck popularity. Halo's the shit.
More people play Destiny than Halo, though.
Yeah, but they play it. They play it for that MMO reasons. But the story was ass. The story was
like the story's not.
That shit was ass.
The story's not.
Man, nobody plays Destiny for the story, man.
It's a lot of
right. No, but it was garbage.
Reading into it. The shit is not bad.
All right, we got Optimus.
There's a lot of reading.
We got
so here's a good question I've always thought about. Let's just say that Bungie's revenue sharing was, satisfactory. Mm-hmm. They never left Microsoft, and Destiny was an exclusive to the Xbox. How much do you think things would change?
Listen, Bond. Marty O'Donnell, right? He was one of the lead guys at Bungie. He said they almost came to a deal with Microsoft. But the reason why they didn't go back to Microsoft is because they weren't able to retain the rights to the IP of Destiny. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why they left Microsoft.
So,
And go with Activision.
do you think if Microsoft could do it all over again, they would have let Bungie keep the IP?
Yes, they would have definitely let them keep that.
Phil would have.
If Destiny was an Xbox exclusive, that's a system seller right there all in itself.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm surprised they wouldn't do that. I mean, that's exactly how Gears of War started.
Mm-hmm.
It's all because of the IP. Bungie wanted to keep the IP of Destiny.
But I'm saying Gears of War was not originally Microsoft's IP either.
Hey,
no, it wasn't.
Bungie can always go
Bungie
back
didn't
to
want a
Xbox
situation.
now. They can. And
Bungie didn't want a situation that happened in Gears to happen to Destiny. They want to keep that because Microsoft owns Gears. They can do whatever they want with Gears. They don't want Microsoft to own Destiny.
Yeah.
Bungie's too big to go back now. They've been making
they'll go back. Trust me. They'll go back.
Why would they go back?
If they go anywhere, they'll probably go to Sony.
Nah.
It ain't even the same Bungie, man.
That's true.
The only way Bungie could go back somewhere is if somebody literally financially incentivized them so much that their games would not be on Xbox.
Yeah.
They would not be able to play.
They're going to be independent.
They're self-sustained, and they get investment.
They're gonna be independent. If they make like a new IP or something like that, they'll probably get a partnership with a publisher or something like that. But but they're not gonna be bought out or anything like that.
You would have to pay so much for that game, for that studio and that game. It wouldn't be worth it. Whatever they're asking for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it can't be that bad. Activision dropped them fairly quick.
No, dropped Activision.
They dropped Activision, Smooth.
When you break a contract, it's a two-way deal. The game was still under contract.
Exactly like you said, Smooth. It's a two-way deal. Bungie didn't want to go.
Yeah, but they were
Bungie wanted a different deal. Activision didn't want to give them a different deal.
Yeah, so you can always renegotiate that contract too.
So they didn't want to go.
It's actually a good thing for Bungie.
Because I heard different that they.
So Bungie
that it wasn't
Bungie's self-sustaining
for them.
Bungie is self-sustaining right now.
The deal that they had with Activision.
Yeah, it wasn't beneficial for them at all. They're self-sustaining, and they can make just as much money or even more going independent. Plus, they got investment from third-party sources as well. They don't need an Activision. They don't need an EA. They don't need any company like that.
Yeah.
Because when the DLC drops for that game, people buy it, and the game is popping.
Yeah, big facts.
And the game is still being played to this very day with like hundreds of thousands of users.
A lot of Destiny,
even though I don't get it, to me it's too repetitive. But a lot of people love that shit.
I don't know how. I can't play. I played Destiny 2's campaign, and I stopped after I beat it. I was like, all right, I ain't gotta touch it.
It's because right now there's a huge diversity of content in the game. It's not as repetitive as it used to be like early on.
Yeah,
we got Optimus in here. It was good, man.
What's good, Optimus?
Smooth, you're used to one and done multiplayer, though, so I wouldn't expect you to understand.
One and done multiplayer? No, because I've been playing some of the same multiplayer.
How's Bleeding Edge and Crackdown going?
Ask me about Gears and Halo 5 and Forza Horizon. Why don't you ask me about the games I've been playing for years?
How's Sea of Thieves doing?
Sea of Thieves is doing okay.
Still doing well. Like that's still.
No, you talking about Smooth. You talking about
Smooth.
I still play. I still play with my kids.
Stop this shit.
Maybe you should ask your kids, get them on some Splatoon.
They don't want bullshit. They like Minecraft. When they pick up the Switch, they playing Minecraft. They ain't playing no Splatoon. They don't know what the hell a Splatoon is.
Mind trash.
Nah, Minecraft.
Hey, yo, chill, calm.
Minecraft was one of Microsoft's more sound investments, so better than Skype and Ninja.
Oh, bro, Ninja. Facts. We talking to Xbox, man. We ain't talking about Microsoft right now.
I'm not mad at Ninja though. Get that bag.
Hell no.
Getting them NBA contracts.
That's 10 million he got.
All right, Optimus. Welcome to the show.
What up, Optimus? That's my guy right there, Optimus.
What up, y'all? How's everybody doing?
Hey, how you doing, bro?
What's up, man? We need you to drop some knowledge and facts.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's why I'm here. I think I'm here because Smooth don't believe in lowest common denominator.
Nah, it's not even that. It's not even that.
We're gonna get into that argument again?
Yeah, no.
Nah.
Phil, well, the thing is, Phil. All right, so Optimus, did you read Phil Spencer's take on being held back? The meme that he said you guys are.
Of course.
And what is your take on that?
It's the same thing I've always said. There's two things for held back. It's the game can be held back. And that's when people talk about graphic scaling and load times and all of that stuff, which is fine. All of that stuff is true. Then there is also game design. which is what I'm always talking about when I say the design is held back. And Phil Spencer always sidesteps the design question and starts talking about the development question. Game design and game development are not the same things.
The scope, what he's probably, so you're saying that the scope of the design will be less because they have to factor in older hardware.
Yes.
100%. That's exactly
100% right.
I agree with Optimus that he broke it down a few times.
Yeah, I'm not saying I disagree. My thing is, why is it still a topic? Like,
okay.
Because they keep bringing it up.
No, because but why? Right?
Why not? You're about
because
to buy a $500 console.
Yes, I'm buying a $500 console.
Didn't care nothing about this
if we're
until
taking
recently.
If we're taking design into consideration, I'm pretty sure, Optimus, you have questions about some of the stuff I said on Twitter. My thing is, by the time I see a game, right? By the time they show us the preview, the trailer, the design thing's already out the window. So at that point, I'm like, if I'm supposed to be
right, I agree with you.
If I'm supposed to be like concerned about design, go ahead.
Let me help you with that, Smooth. So first and foremost, to answer your question, why are we still talking about it?
Yeah.
We talking about it because an article came out where Phil Spencer brought it up again, and what he said was evasive. And so, since he was giving misleading information, I told you, my goal is to make sure we have a well-informed gaming community because that's the only way we're going to get the stuff we want. As soon as console gamers are more like PC gamers, where they have a higher level of understanding of what their value is and what they're worth, and they can act as one. Until we get there as console gamers, we're going to pretty much have to settle for whatever the companies give us. And we cannot just say okay to whatever they say. Now, I do not believe that Phil has bad intentions or any foolishness like that. I think he has a product to sell. But at the same time, there's no reason to be dishonest. We can say, well, we have more advanced designs coming or whatever. He can spin it any kind of way he wants. But there is no reason to be misleading and have people on Twitter arguing that the designs won't be held back when he know good and goddamn well they will.
You want to know what a good example is on that?
Good.
Yes.
When GTA came out on PlayStation 4 and Rockstar said, despite 80 million Xbox 360s and PS3s, we are not supporting the old thing because we can't.
Exactly. And it's going to take somebody big. So like Rockstar, they pimp hand is strong. So they're in a position to do those types of things. Other like smaller developers, if they trying to get that bag and they publisher is not really willing to fragment the market, they're not going to have that flexibility. So it takes somebody to pimp.
Too.
Who is?
Yeah.
The medium's only on Xbox Series X. They flat out said it.
But that's a smaller team.
That's what people keep.
But they get that bag from Microsoft, so Microsoft wants
they talking about
exclusives, even though they saying they don't really believe in generational exclusives. Microsoft is already doing third-party deals to get generational exclusives.
Yeah,
like we already know,
it's going to be a double standard.
Like we already know that certain titles won't work on the older hardware. Like we already know the game design. Like that.
That's all we're saying.
We already but that's fine. But it's just like there are people out there who are just so diehard just to kind of like trash the junk, like trash the console itself, and it's just like there's no point because nobody's arguing that like game design isn't held back. Like we've had plenty of hold up. Like we've had plenty of titles that have come out this gen and even some from the previous that were obviously held back because of older hardware. Like in which like they couldn't have as many things on screen, or like they had to design a level a certain way because they couldn't get this or that to work properly. So it's just like I don't know. Like it seems like it's a non-issue. I guess some people, like the people who don't know or who aren't familiar with any of this, like they read that headline and they just ran to the hills to scream about the shit. But it's just seemed like
hold on. Let me say something real quick. Here's the thing. The whole thing with cross-generation games, I don't have problem with cross-generation games because if the game is good, it's going to be good, right? Whether it's cross-gen, next-gen only, or current-gen. If it's a great game, it's a great game. I don't have no problems.
Facts.
The only problem that I have is when people that flat out deny that games are not held back by older hardware, right? And we see examples of the medium dev, right, who literally said the gameplay mechanics we're creating for the medium can
it won't work.
fully realized only on next gen hardware. And it's not just the medium.
That game better be phenomenal.
Resident Evil. Yeah.
Capcom with Resident Evil.
No, it wasn't even that.
The
fucking,
hold on. They literally
what was
cut
the
off
other
the
game
PS4
that's
and the
coming to
Xbox.
Xbox?
Hold on. Let me finish. They literally cut out the PS4 version and the Xbox One version of Resident Evil 8, right? Why? Because Capcom said that that hardware, right, these old generation hardware, wouldn't allow them to fully realize what they want to do with Resident Evil Village, right, / Resident Evil 8. So people who keep saying that, it doesn't hold, no, that's not true. That's absolutely true. That doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that Halo Infinite is going to be a terrible game because it's also going to be on the Xbox One. No, that doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just don't deny that it doesn't.
Well, Halo Infinite's a different category because they are going to design two versions of Halo, one to showcase the hardware and one for the older, and put it all on one disc or one SKU, and then let the smart delivery give you whatever you need. So Halo is actually the exception because they dropping the bag on Halo to make sure that it covers both bases. I have no concerns about Halo at all. But Smooth, you said something, man, I want to address. You said by the time you get the game and you see the preview, like all the design stuff is done. And while, I mean, to some degree, that's kind of true, but it's not really true.
Yeah, because Cyberpunk
can be true. Because like right now, a lot of people are losing hype for Cyberpunk because they keep dropping more and more features because they realizing that they just can't get these things done with the older hardware. Or with just a current hardware. It's not really older yet. It's current.
Base PS4 and base Xbox.
Yeah, so, I mean, you will know about a game and you will be able to see that it is losing functionality right before your eyes. It's already like 2 or 3 things that's been dropped already from a very high-profile game.
Yeah, our game gets delayed. Our game gets delayed indefinitely because newer hardware is right around the corner, and we're like, all right. Like Dying Light 2, right? Like, what's the point of dropping Dying Light? Yeah, a Scalebound. What's the point of dropping the game this spring where we know we have next-gen hardware right around the corner? We can implement more design changes to our game. So we're just going to hold it back. And in regards to Phil always talks about fidelity. He doesn't talk about design. That's one thing I did notice. And I posted the quote in the Discord. He says, the diversity of hardware choice in PC has not held back the highest fidelity PC games. That is true, but you're not mentioning design whatsoever. So
games
he needs to address that.
Aren't really designed for PC because even PC exclusives are. I mean, ain't doing nothing special.
These games on PC are always designed for the minimum spec, 100% of the time, and then they use the extra power left over to add graphical features and frame rates, which frame rate is itself a graphical feature. That is normal for PC.
Here's one thing you're not understanding.
Star Citizen is like the game that's like never gonna come out because it's so demanding.
Oh, it'll be out. It'll be out.
It's good.
They just have crazy minimum requirements.
Yeah, they said that game couldn't be done on Xbox 360 and PS3. We're about to be 2 consoles beyond that now. But here's one thing you also don't understand about PC gaming. Games are about to be a lot bigger and complex this next generation. For this simple reason alone. The CPUs and the RAM. Yeah. Consoles have never been equipped. I would say that's probably the biggest difference between consoles and PC gaming. Consoles have never been equipped with a hard drive that can load things as fast, and they've never been equipped with the CPU that can have higher frame rates or more thinking processes done in the background. So you're going to see a lot more complex games now.
Yeah, there's extra hardware inside. Yeah, and there's extra hardware. They have dedicated co-processors meant to offload a lot of the CPU tasks to those specific processors. So, like in the PS5, they have they have coherency engines, and they have those 2 dedicated co-processors for their storage architecture, so that they can get assets directly from storage to RAM fast without even touching your CPU. And Xbox has the same thing as well with their what is it called? Direct storage? Yeah, it's direct storage. So the IO is just completely different inside these next gen consoles. And PC is just gonna brute force it. Like they always find a way to brute force it anyway. So
Smooth, while you're saying that PC games are made for the minimum spec, yes, but you got to realize even.
I'm saying that, that was me.
No, he said it too. But I'm saying even the most minimum spec PC has a CPU that's leagues beyond the PS4 and the Xbox One.
The minimum. So you think a Core 2 Duo is better than a Jaguar chip?
Do they even make Core 2 Duo?
Yes, they do. They still do.
That's
but what games are minimum specs?
Most minimum specs is like a Core 2 Duo and like a GTX 960 or whatever.
I bet you're running that game like super trash.
Hold on, let me give the shout out to the Great 180, $5. He says, this is to Chris and Bond. He says, Sea of Thieves will be a bigger game than Ghost of Tsushima will ever be. $5.
Okay, cool story, bro.
I mean,
that's funny.
Okay.
No, I just because I think that he sent that. I didn't want to miss it, but he said that when we were talking about the whole popular thing. All right, so now my question to you, Optimus, because you've been kind of heavy in, and I think we might have went at this before. If everything is like really based on design, right?
Yes.
And that's what your argument is design. So pretty much to you, you're pretty much. I'm not saying you're saying, but to the belief that means PS5 by default games should be best.
No, so that is not true.
Because Xbox One X games would be the best.
I made a tweet. I don't know how long it was because all these little arguments keep happening. But I tried to explain what holds design back, and there are multiple things that will hold back the design of a game. Usually, it's time. That's like the number one. Well, time and hardware is like the number one thing that will force you to change your vision or to hold back a game from accomplishing something. Another thing is resources, and another one is hardware. And if PS5 games are held back, the only thing we know for sure is that they won't be held back because of older hardware. That doesn't mean that they won't be held back. It just means that they will be held back for a different reason. Mm-hmm. All we want as Xbox fans is for Microsoft to remove as many barriers to creativity as possible. Leave the devs alone and let them build what they want to build. But if you're going to keep adding restrictions to them, you're automatically going to limit what they can do. I don't know if PS5 games will be better, but based on Sony's reputation and based on the fact that they only have to worry about building the best game they can for the PS5, there is a high probability that those first round of games will be pretty good. Yes, absolutely.
Talk to them.
You know what a good example is on that? Scalebound.
Why is Scalebound a great example?
Oh, man.
That's a perfect example. Because if Scalebound could have only been on the Xbox One X, it would have worked.
Oh, that's true. That actually is a good.
Was that game being developed though? Like in 2012?
Why
would they even think about that?
The Xbox One X still had the same.
They couldn't get it to run on the Xbox One standard.
That game looked like shit, man. I'm sorry.
It really did.
I don't understand all this shit, bro. Platinum Games is a piece of shit. So I don't even.
All right, I ain't going that damn far, but I'm just saying.
Yo, that games is garbage. Vanquish is cool. And come on, bro.
Nier's great, bro. Nier's great. I'm sorry.
And then they just bad. They bad businessmen. What are they doing to people, bro?
They're making money.
And Smooth, another thing I want to clear up too.
I mean, they keep making games. Bayonetta's good. Vanquish is good. Metal Gear Rising was good.
They should have been.
I didn't like that one.
Hold on.
Let him.
Nier is good.
All right, afterwards.
Platinum Games is better than pretty much every one of Microsoft's in-house developers.
Get out of here, Bond.
You are super. He's super
That was
stupid with
crazy.
that one. That's all them games.
Okay.
All them games they got. Microsoft ain't really had no studios.
right
Well, I
They
wouldn't
just-
say all of Microsoft.
Microsoft doesn't have
Name
any
me the
studios.
Microsoft Studios.
They don't
better.
have any studios. They just got
Name-
these studios.
Name me
Like,
the
what are you talking
Microsoft
about?
Studios better than Platinum right now.
They don't have any.
Playground.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Ninja
Playground.
Theory.
What we
better
mean,
than
what we
that.
mean better? Do
Playground,
we
that's
mean
not-
as far as what,
Come
like
on, bro.
critically acclaimed?
Well, hold on.
Like
You
better?
said, who said that it's dumb to say that Platinum Games is probably better than all Microsoft Studios?
I did.
So then you name me the studios better than Platinum
Ninja
that
Theory.
Microsoft has.
Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory is
Play-
not better.
Yeah, it is.
No, Ninja Theory.
Theory.
Hell,
Ninja-
hell no.
Ninja Theory.
Hell no.
Let me
Hold on,
finish
let me
this
rap
point real
game.
quick.
Let me
finish-
rap.
Name
let
the
me finish
game.
this point
Don't
real
ask
quick.
me a question that I can't answer.
Hold on, let me finish this. Smooth, remember, you said what was that last trash game I don't like they made called? With the bipolar chick, what's that called?
Hellblade.
Hellblade.
You said
man.
Hellblade. You said Hellblade was mediocre, and you didn't come back to it until Microsoft bought them. What have they done
Oh,
since?
man.
So what? The game.
you
That's
gotta
not their
give
only
What have
game.
they done since?
Bleeding Edge. That's what
Okay,
it is.
so Bleeding Edge
Chris.
changed your mind that they are now better
No,
than Platinum.
their
Get outta here,
catalog. Their
Smooth, stop.
catalog. They have their catalog.
Hey, Smooth, leave
No,
this
they don't.
argument alone.
Wow.
Just
They
leave
don't,
it
they
alone.
don't,
Like
they don't
they
have
did-
better Platinum games.
Like, they
Ninja
did
Theory's
do
better,
pretty-
Playground's
They
better.
did do
343
pretty
is
good
better.
combat for DMC though. Like y'all.
Nah, they
If
ruined
y'all
Dante.
played that.
I hate them.
I'd rather play Forza than
All
any
right,
fucking Platinum
that's-
game.
Yeah, I
Put it
would
like
say
that.
Playground is
Shit
better than
garbage.
Platinum, and I would probably put the Coalition up there too.
Yeah, Coalition.
I don't
I
think
get
the
it.
Gears of War Coalition
I
games
can't-
are better than Platinum's games.
Yo,
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't-
Platinum
all
Games
cap.
is the equivalent to the gaming industry's thought. Like, ain't nobody said, ain't nothing
Yeah.
special
Oh,
about
that's
it.
my point,
Man,
Smooth.
oh.
Smooth.
Damn.
Actually, that would be Microsoft because everybody does business with Microsoft.
They are
No,
publishers.
no, listen. When we talk about better, right? Are we talking about critically acclaimed? Because
Of course,
this is
we're
all-
not talking about
this is all
sales.
subjective, right? This is all like opinions. But if we talk about critically acclaimed, Platinum Games, they put out 90s and high 80 games a lot of the
Really?
times.
Microsoft
What's the
putting out
Wonderful
69.
101?
Yes.
What's the Wonderful 101?
I can tell you somebody else put up a 90 game and that shit garbage. Come on, man.
I don't know.
What
Nier
are we really
Automata
doing
was
here?
like a 90 or 89. Bayonetta 2.
Right.
Okay,
Listen,
because
all right,
Nier is
Platinum,
great.
Platinum
though.
makes
Like,
Platinum makes great games. We all know that.
What about
But
Transformers?
Their
They
business,
make
their
good
business
games.
practices, their business practices are very shady, and the way they move, I don't like the way they move. And I
That's
agree
what
with
I
Nick.
was saying. They supposed to
agree
be
with
on
Nick.
Square Enix level at this point, and they still fucking taking people off for fucking. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Kickstarters, and then they didn't even give people in
Kickstarter.
UK.
Come on.
Hey,
They
man.
was throwing in extra fees after the Kickstarter. After
But,
they said
here's the you're knocking their hustle, but here's the thing.
hustle. Why you still hustling
Hold
pennies on the corner?
hold up.
You're supposed to be a supervisor at this point.
Hear
You
me
still
out. Hear me
Okay, go
out.
ahead.
Hear me out.
go ahead.
Do they put booty boxes in their game? No,
Really,
so I don't
dude?
care if they kickstarted.
Yo,
I don't
come
care
on,
if they
Bond.
kickstarted.
That was a low blow, right?
No, it's
there.
not.
He brought up booty boxes.
Look. If companies want to kickstart their game to not have full games and not have all these booty boxes, microtransactions, like, cool, do it.
Yeah, but
So-
their game was
so-
already paid for.
I'd rather see
Before
a
they even
booty
started
box
the
in the
Kickstarter.
game
Nope.
than a person actually taking money out my pocket and then charging me extra fees and shit. Come on, bro.
Who's
Like, you
doing
really
that?
gonna argue that?
And who's taking
Platinum
money out of your
games.
pocket? Hold on. Who's taking money out of your pocket?
What I'm saying is they literally came up with a Kickstarter and then told people they already had the funding for it. And then on top of that, recently they charged people in UK for extra fees
The
on
import
the
fee
Kickstarter that they
on the
didn't
Kickstarter.
even need. Like, come on, bro.
Were you-
Obsidian is better than Platinum.
Were you required to donate to that Kickstarter?
Oh, come on, man.
No.
You know
I
what?
mean,
He
but
didn't
you're
even give us
preying
a chance. He said, fuck us.
But you're preying on
Like-
folks' goodwill and shit. That's the issue here. Like, you
No.
know that these people
Yeah,
want
you
to
talking about
Kickstarter is
booty.
But hold up, hold
Kickstarter is
up, but
completely
hold up.
optional.
Hold up.
Let
You
Death
know that
Grips
these
get you,
people
man.
want the
Like-
game. You know that these people want the motherfucking game.
Death
So then
Grips.
you're preying on them. But then you also know that you have the fundings already to actually do the fucking game. But then you still put that little hook out there for the people.
You're not under. Who published Wonderful 101, the remaster?
I don't know. Who published it.
I think it
I
was
don't know who
Platinum
fuck-
themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A small company themselves did a Kickstarter to self-publish
No, they
a
didn't
game.
because Tencent gave them
Son,
like
they're-
a bag before that.
Tencent, bro.
Tencent
Yeah,
gave
but
them a
Tencent
bag
gave them
for
money.
that.
That's-
Tencent
Wonderful
published
101.
Yo,
Tencent had
this-
nothing to do with the Wonderful 101.
Shit,
That
they
was
put
all
a whole
Platinum
lot of
Games.
money in their pocket before they started that dumbass Kickstarter.
Yo, you brought up booty boxes, but that's why that argument turned into how they handled their business. Which that's why I don't like them. You know
Care how they handle their business as long as they don't force microtransactions and booty boxes on us, which they do not.
That's business. That's still business.
No, that's bad business.
Right.
Whatever they want to do with all the other companies are idiots. Like, first of all, if you donate to a Kickstarter at all, you're an idiot. That's just my opinion.
Well, I agree.
So, if people want to do it, it's Kickstarter is no different than Patreon. You don't have to do it, but if you want to, you can.
Hold on, what we got against microtransactions? That might be a topic for
Hold
another
on.
day.
Is that a real question?
shit.
I'm 100% legit
Yo.
question.
So you like microtransactions?
So I have found one thing that is true of video games. Video games require a lot of time. And there was a point in my life where I had plenty of time, but I didn't hardly have no money. Now I have plenty of money, but I don't hardly have no time.
Okay.
And I don't always have the time to invest like I used to. And it would be great if I could exchange some money for some time every once in a while. I'm 100%.
Well, you know how you do that? You
How?
play the game on easy.
But then you
Easy
get,
mode is
but then
free.
you get shitted on for playing it on easy.
Well, I mean,
easy
my
mode
own
is
moral
free.
code won't let me do that.
I'm sorry?
So my own moral code won't let me play on easy.
So right now you're frauding and lying. So your moral code won't let you play on easy, but you'll buy microtransactions to assist you instead.
I will buy some VC, yes, and to help me.
That doesn't make sense.
Yo, you need VC in goddamn 2K.
Yeah,
they put dunks behind the paywall.
That doesn't make sense. Easy mode is not cool because it goes against it, but you'll pay to win. That doesn't make sense.
I didn't say pay to win. I said pay to gain back some time.
Yes, that's paying to win.
I could still lose even after I invested.
That just means you're trash, though.
Well, hold on, Bon. I understand what you're saying. Pay to win is garbage, but in 2K, it's similar to like an MMO type of thing. So people do buy microtransactions.
You're
and
paying
MMOs.
to win.
I mean, if you look at
NBA
MMOs,
2K should be a
Bon?
free to play by now.
Right, if you look at
it, I agree.
everybody is against them, but 2K and Rockstar, they make all that money from their microtransactions. Why? Because people want the ability to advance and exchange. There are some successful people in the world, and they just don't have time, and it is nothing to them to spend $10 or $15 to save me 4 or 5 hours. I
don't know. Shit, if it's just cosmetics, like that's different. Like it's like shit. If you're paying for something and it's like free to play, and let's say like it's a MMO and you get like a new skin, some glasses, some shit like that. Like that's different. From,
let me clarify. I'm only talking about single player too. I mean, let me clarify.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like an MMO or a single player. I don't know.
Yeah, like some of them games, like you can't. Some of them things, like you can't earn in the game. Like it's automatically just behind like that.
No, okay, I'm not with that either. So I think it should be if you're willing to invest the time, you can get it in game. But if you can't invest the time, then you can pay for it. But I don't think
I wish some of them were like that, but it's just like if you're buying cosmetics, like, and they're not helping you just like breeze past the game or do PvP, and you're not getting like OP weapons.
You prefer the time savers, like a Ubisoft does. They put all these things like the stuff so you don't have to grind as much.
Exactly.
Yeah,
something like that.
And my argument is this. Why should you have to pay for that when they could just offer an easy mode so you don't have to spend time grinding?
I don't know, Bob.
Exactly.
Then their game design would be held back because
grind.
So here's what happened. These companies got smart and know that there are people like you, and instead of them offering you an easier mode that you could just, casually play through and breeze through, they said, you know what? We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to fuck them in the ass and charge them money.
Oh, man.
And you fell for it.
Everybody who has money does not feel like they getting raped if they Then they
Oh man.
Oh man.
I mean,
I'm just
actually,
saying.
so I built a couple of apps. I had a couple of apps on Facebook, and I was taking payments, and I was selling these little things, and I realized they were just little time savers, like we talking about, and I realized that people really like these things, so I started selling more and more of them, and before I knew it, those little items were my number one seller across each one of my apps. And one of the guys that talked to me about it, and it was very similar to what I was saying. He was like, he would rather spend his money than spend his time.
Damn,
You're
Optimus, you were
100%
selling.
right.
Optimus,
You
hold
talking
on.
about marketing?
Optimus, you were
marketing?
selling turns in Candy Crush.
No,
you talking about marketing?
That's true.
Right?
Like, yo, most of these people.
Optimus?
This is why this shit are gonna go away, because take NBA 2K for example. Like, yo, people will literally pay $60 and $70 for NBA 2K, or even like the $100 edition, and then they'll spend a couple more $100 on virtual currency, and that's a lot of people who play those
2K
games.
has a bad business model, so that's different. They're
Yeah,
scummy.
but
Everybody knows 2K is scummy.
Yeah, they have a bad business model, but
Valorant's a
guess what?
scummy ass game as well.
But guess what? The consumers continue to buy into it,
and that's into them. That's
look,
that's
man,
on them.
my grandson got like $100 in gift cards for his birthday. It was back in May, and he did everything he could to convert those into Fortnite dollars.
Damn.
And
oh man.
he was like, will you buy this off of me, because he wanted actual money to put into Fortnite, and that's what they do. Like, he's not alone. Like, his whole little group of friends. He's in high school now. But like, that's what they all do. It's like a group of 8 or 9 of them. All they think about is Fortnite and Minecraft.
This is right though, because when you have money in life, that's what you do. You pay a premium for the convenience.
That's
so you
it.
don't have to do things in time. But my point is this: a game developer shouldn't have to charge you for the convenience. They should especially in single player, they should offer you easier modes. Games have always had easier modes where you could just what was that one game that made by the creators of Rage before Rage?
I don't even know.
It was kind of like a Doom game, first-person shooter.
Quake?
Yeah, should I know what
Rage
software?
Yeah.
Quake?
Not Rage. Damn it, Bulletstorm.
Oh, Bulletstorm.
Bulletstorm I got for $2.50 on Steam. I literally just jacked the difficulty down to the easiest level and just had a ball and just ran straight through it. Why should I have to pay money to get that experience if that's the experience I want? That makes no sense. And you've now created you've now created a two-pronged problem. Because here's what's happening now. Not only are developers making you pay for the convenience of easier things, we're now starting to see developers make people pay for hard modes.
Wow.
Well, you won't catch me paying for no hard mode, but
what game is that?
Yeah, get that super chat.
Yeah, Tony Wood 25 says, "Yo, kid, smooth. Black Bomb making you look bad with his performance at Halo on Legendary, which is unacceptable. And Bond, I can't super chat support while block. Fix that, my guy. Bond, you gotta unblock Tony Wood 25. And Tony Wood 25, I have children. Bond don't. I don't need to be good. Legendary. So I'm fine.
Can't call yourself the best spot if you can't beat Halo 3 Legendary,
bruh. I don't care if you beat that game on Super Legendary.
I don't think Smooth was a big fan of old school Halo like that.
No, he wasn't a fan of Halo at the best. And you're gonna have to have Tony Wood send you a link to his YouTube channel, because I can't click it. These people that have YouTube channels that don't make content, you can't find their channels.
All right, let me. I'm gonna have to view his page some way somehow.
Jeez, I'm playing Halo 2 right now, bro.
Halo 2 is definitely the hardest on Legendary.
Can we talk about this generation?
Go ahead.
Wait, what?
The whole thing with Phil Spencer saying that
exclusives.
Generational exclusives.
What generational exclusives?
You really gotta explain this.
Isn't what gaming is about. And the thing that the shit with me is, like, if you want to say, hey, the generational exclusive at the beginning of the generation is something that we don't want, that, the Xbox brand is about right now, then that's cool. I'll be cool with what he said. But he can't speak for the whole industry. He can't say that generational exclusive, that's not what gaming is about, when it's literally been every single generation you get a new generation to get a new exclusive for that generation. You didn't.
I mean, at
you know
the
what I
same
mean?
time, that's his opinion. And
Right,
another
like, I
thing
don't
is
understand.
just like, I mean, he could have his opinion on
Well, hold
like
y'all.
the
Let me
gaming.
jump in real quick on this one because
Yeah, go ahead.
one of the people that I converse with routinely, and they have a Xbox dev kit. They gave some insight on this because I was feeling the exact same way. Like, what is he talking about now? Why, man? Like, why even start all of this stuff for us to comment on? And what I was told, and it makes, I don't know if it's true. I'm just telling y'all what I was told. Apparently, what Phil is trying to say is that he thinks
Yo, somebody's buttons, man.
Good.
Oh, my bad, bro.
He thinks it is unfair if you have a game. We'll just keep it real. Just say talk about Sony. If you have a game that could run on the PS4, he thinks it is unfair for you to lock it out of the PS4. Say you have to get a PS5, throw a shiny coat of paint on it, and call it PS5 game when it could have just easily
Okay,
been.
but how do we know that those games
We
can run on
seen it.
PS4?
Well, hold on. So I'm not gonna get into all of that. All I'm saying is, from what I'm being told is, what he meant was, why make a generational exclusive when it can just as easily be cross-gen? There is no reason.
Here's my counter. Here's my counter to that. Here's my counter to that. It goes back to it goes back to what we talked about earlier in terms of game design. Because you can do more with your game on PS5 as opposed to PS4.
Chris. That is when you have a design that you actually do need the hardware for.
Right. Like Ratchet and Clank.
Really
Ratchet and Clank
no,
can run on PS4.
Right.
Like
What
Ratchet
he's
and Clank.
saying is, if you can make it cross-gen, but you don't.
Yeah, and it let me tell you this: does it take more work to make a game exclusively for PS5, or make it work on multiple hardware?
Jay, do you think Spider-Man could run on PS4?
Is it easier to make? Is it easier to?
Because we don't know. I don't know the game coding.
Answer the question: is it easier to make a game on one platform or multiple platforms?
It doesn't matter. That's
it doesn't matter, yo. Like,
you pick your lowest common denominator and you design for that, and then you build.
That's what I said.
It doesn't matter. Every
game is built on engines
system
anyway.
has
They're
its
not
own
built on a
intricacies.
particular console. They're built on engines, and then that engine is scaled on.
That's false. Still.
Oh, okay. All right. So
gotta ask Optimus that one.
No, because here's the issue. While you are using the same engine and everything, it doesn't matter. Each console, each machine is still different.
Exactly. They handle the engine differently.
But Doughboy, this is what Optimus was trying to tell you.
No. You license the engine. The platform owners of that engine, they guarantee that the experience will be the same on multiple platforms, and the dev team is relieved of those responsibilities. And that's one of the reasons why you will go with the licensed engine as opposed to creating one of your own.
But we're talking about exclusives.
The dev team's not relieved of those responsibilities.
Yeah, no, it's tech. So if we all of us right now on this panel decide we want to make a game where we decide to use Unreal Engine, and so they've got their multi-platform support, and they give us different profiles and how the game will run on each of the different systems that we want to target. If we have issues, we just hit up Epic tech support. This is what we're running into, and then they responsible for handling that. We do not have to fix anything in their engine code at all.
Okay.
Fact.
Now,
but again,
that's exclusivity.
Everybody doesn't use licensed engines.
Here's the easiest way to solve this issue. Would it be easier to make PC games on one system and one system alone, or 10 different systems?
You mean configurations of hardware?
Yes.
A known configuration is
versus 10 different
easier.
Configurations.
Yes, a known configuration is definitely easier than multiple unknown.
And that's why we have PS5 exclusives and PS4 exclusives.
No.
It's negligibly more, but it's still more.
No, the PS4 and the PS5 are not unknown. They are both known. There are two configurations.
Yeah, we know it's two different configurations. My point is
intimate knowledge of them, so it's not harder.
Everybody has knowledge of all PCs.
My thing is, optimizing a game purely for PS5 is easier for a dev than try to optimize for PS5 and PS4.
Exactly.
Optimize?
No, that's not true.
How?
Because it's just you build the game, and so you got a dev kit. You build the game. They'll have profiles.
So let me stop right there. So now I got to purchase 2 dev kits.
No, one dev kit.
How one dev kit? I need a PS4 and a PS5 dev kit.
No, you just need a PS5 dev kit.
How? I'm building a PS4 game as well.
It should have a PS4 profile in it.
Yes.
I would need both.
Xbox.
Backwards compatible, remember?
Yeah, all you need is that one, and you pick the profile. You just build it to that lowest common denominator, and then that's why I always say, y'all see me say it on Twitter. Well, whoever sees me on Twitter, I say it all the time. The only thing that matters is the dev skill, talent, tooling, compilers, and time. That's it.
And what does time cost?
Money.
Exactly. There you go.
That's why they're not building on PS4.
Here's a good question. Here's a good question.
They build all of these tools. That's why they make all of these.
But even then, why did some games come to PC later than consoles? If all they have to do is hit a magic button and it's just ported.
There is no dev kit that will give you all the PC configurations. There is a dev kit that will give you the PlayStation configuration.
Like you said, it costs time. Time is money. That's why.
He went back to time.
It's the truth.
Yeah, it is.
There's no magic button you just hit.
No, that PC development is very different than console development.
And all these people in the chat talking about, oh, this is so anti-consumer. You're still going to buy next gen to play next gen exclusives.
Hold up, though,
that's
boy.
The point. That's the point of getting new
hardware.
hardware.
Xbox I got going to cut off the Xbox One.
Yeah, but I want to ask one question that people ain't asking.
Like,
what's
people,
up?
They don't think, man.
Spider-Man is launching with the PS5. So you mean to tell me that this game only took 2 years to build? Like, I don't know. To me, it just seemed like they just took the same game and expanded that shit like it's DLC. Oh, it is.
And that's not true because Digital Foundry made a video showing off the fact that the design of the game and the way it is different from the OG Spider-Man.
Hold on, what you say, Optimus Code?
I'm with you on this one, Chris. I don't know why people keep calling it DLC. Well, I do know why people keep calling it.
Everybody else called it DLC
because they want this whole console war.
Cool.
Hold on. No, you want to know? I can tell you. Nope. Let's go. Let's talk about it. You want to question it? Let's talk about it. Name another standalone game where they took out the acronyms DLC for downloadable content. You got I can explain to you 2 of them for explanation. You got First Light. If you look it up, it's called standalone DLC. Red Dead Undead. Yep, standalone DLC. Like who takes out the word DLC? You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, it's to me it's PR talk. They already said that they turned it into a standalone
but how do you
game.
know?
But it's still DLC content.
This is the thing, man. Insomniac literally said that it's not DLC.
I know what they said.
Then.
I know what Phil said too, but I don't pay that shit no mind. I keep that same energy. That's all. Keep that same energy, bro.
Should I believe Insomniac or should I believe?
I ain't believing none of them motherfuckers. That's what I'm saying. Y'all believe everything Sony and them motherfuckers say.
But you're believing that it's DLC.
Nick, hold on.
Because I know I'm going by history. If you look up Lost Legacy, it says downloadable content, standalone downloadable content, dog.
All right, Nick. Here's the thing, man. So you done said like 3 or 4 things that I think I just need to address if I can. One,
let's go.
This whole same energy. Who you gonna trust? That doesn't really factor in here because some people have a reputation for being misleading and some people don't. Mm-hmm. And so it is not the case that because this one person has proven themselves to be misleading that you got to be skeptical of every other person that
facts talks. Thank you.
So, no, my point is I believe it when I see it. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not sitting around
before you see.
I'm not
Why are you saying that it's a DLC? You gotta wait and see, right?
Because it makes some of y'all upset, just like y'all upset
Nick,
Xbox fanboys. Exactly.
Like, all right,
I'm just doing the same thing Chris and them do. That's all.
Yeah, man. Wait, was Halo 3 ODST a DLC or
that was
standalone?
it was standalone, but it was DLC. It was definitely still. They could have.
Yeah, it was.
They launched the game with 2 discs: Halo 3 multiplayer and ODST campaign.
Yeah, and they how much they charge you? 60.
Nah, no, it wasn't 60. It was 30. It was 30.
So let me. No, because you know how I know none of you guys were on YouTube around then. When ODST was announced, everybody was making fun of it, calling it ODLC, overpriced DLC. That was a joke going on YouTube about it.
I don't recall paying $60 for that though. I really don't. Like,
yo, Smooth, you got super chat though.
It was the fanboys, like people.
You got super chat though.
Shout out to Tony.
Fanboys calling it ODLC.
Hold up. Tony Wood for another $10. He says Asus ROG Zephyrus. What is this? A monitor?
Okay,
those are PC specs.
Hey, hold on.
No, Bond. Let Bond read this. Let Bond read this. This shit is. He got to.
Hold on. Where does it say Uncharted Lost Legacy is DLC? I just looked it up. Where does it say that, Nick?
Hold on. Let me get rid of this super chat.
You gotta get the super chat.
Yo, get that super chat, cuz.
I got you. Let me read it. Asus ROG Zephyrus GX701 17.3 gaming laptop, Intel i7, 16 gigs of memory, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 and 1TB SSD for content creation and gaming and streaming. I just Googled it. That's a $3,000 laptop. You can build that for way less, half the cost.
Yeah.
You can build that PC.
Anything that's portable is going to cost more.
Yeah, Tony Wood, answer this. Do you want to build a PC or do you want a gaming laptop? That's the real question. Because if you want to build a PC, you can build a PC for way less than that with the same specs.
I need to go back to that known hardware porting it stuff.
Okay, let's go. What's up?
You're saying if the hardware is known, it's literally minimal to no effort just to move the game over.
I'm saying that the PS4 and PS5 dev kit works with 2 sets of known hardware, and that dev kit will do the thing that you called push a button.
Okay.
But there is no button for PC and other different things.
So you're just saying in the ecosystem of what the PlayStation is.
Yes, for the PlayStation, they can build.
That makes sense then.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Now, Smooth, I want to address something that you said too, because I noticed this, and I'm gonna ask a question, and everybody, even if y'all know the answer, this question is only for Kid Smooth, because I think I understand like how we sort of got off to the wrong foot on Twitter. Maybe. All right, so Smooth, if I say to you tomorrow, if it doesn't rain, I'm gonna cut the grass. What did I just say?
You're gonna cut the grass if it doesn't rain.
Okay, so tomorrow comes, but it does rain.
Yeah.
So, am I gonna cut the grass?
No.
See, so that's why we get off to the wrong problem, because that's the wrong answer. That is false. Now you repeated back what I said. I said tomorrow, if it don't rain, I will cut the grass. I never said what I would do if it did rain. You, though, on your own, inserted what you think I meant by what I said. And that's sort of how we got into trouble with this held back thing, because all I've said was, hey, games will be held back as like a state of awareness so we can know what to expect. But you think I said games is holding back and the industry going to be destroyed. Like, I've never said that other stuff, and I don't know why you keep acting as if it's just such the end of the world because we accept that some games are going to be held back in design.
All right.
And I think it's because of what you just did. You completed a thought that I never made or never even implied.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, you're right. So, so the reason why. Okay.
Damn, you got him tongue-tied.
No, it's fair. It's fair what you said, because the thing is, all right. So, because I don't hear the opposite. So I'm assuming, right? I'm putting it like, if you're saying, all right, when you say every time Optimus speaks, right, about games being held back, a certain group, I
don't control that.
will take that as
You just
gold,
get mad at the ponies trolling. That's all.
and then it's like all doom and gloom. So I'm like, all right, if that's the case, so my thing is, all right, if this is gonna be, if you solely believe this, because they got to support the Xbox One, that their game's gonna be held back, their games aren't gonna be, let's say, up to par as they could be. Then
I didn't say that. I just said design was held back. I believe 100% that like the graphic scaling, the frame rates, like all the stuff that you expect visually. There's no doubt in my mind that they will have all that stuff, and I'm looking forward.
Fidelity is always going to be there.
Yeah, I'm sure Infinite. I'm sure Infinite is going to look freaking amazing on the Series X.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So I don't believe it's doom and gloom, or I wouldn't be anxiously awaiting like the game showcase and then trying to get in line to pre-order a couple of Xbox Series X's. That's not what I believe at all. What I want is for us to, like I said, be an educated community and understand, so we can make informed decisions, and so that we can let people know, hey, this is what we want, this is what we don't want. But we cannot just blindly defend everything that they do and then start arguing with people about stuff when those people are telling the truth.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. There's too many idiots. There's too many idiots running around.
We got another super
chat. All right, Tony Wood 25. Shout out to Tony Wood, and also shout out to Optimus. He says, I'm military, can't take a PC rig through customs, switch and laptop, and smooth. These supers don't mean you should continue betting with Bond.
Well, if you want a gaming laptop, I would say find something cheaper than $3,000. That's definitely not worth $3,000.
Yeah.
And then looking at the panel, I believe it's a 1080p panel. Let me see. Because at 1080p, you don't need a 2070 Super for that. That makes no sense. So if you're gaming at 1080p 144, I would recommend looking like at a 2060 Super or a 2060. That's it. Those two.
Yeah, you might as well. If you're on a military base, you might as well just get yourself a Switch and call it a day.
Right, yeah, that's all you really need.
I don't see the point of you dropping $3,000 on this kind of laptop. Honestly, you're not going to actualize all the performance out of it. So I'll do some more research, find something a bit more cheaper.
He said,
probably
give,
like around
give him
1,500.
some names.
Give us some name, yeah.
Give you some names. So Asus actually has cheaper laptops on Best Buy. Let me see. Asus, MSI is really good as well. You just have to like go on Amazon, Google, find some laptops with similar specs or even less, and just.
MSI.
What is he looking at now? Alienware or something?
No, he's looking at the Asus ROG GX701, and that's like a $3,000 laptop that you can easily build for half the cost.
They don't have a
desktop, but he
portable
doesn't.
Steam, like no portable joint yet. I thought they were
all right,
making
so
one.
Tony Wood, I'm going to put the model of the laptop in the chat right now and look at this on Best Buy. It's on clearance. But we can continue. You guys can go ahead.
You can get a Switch, man.
Yes, that's fine. If you're on a military base, you can just get a Switch and call it a day.
Right.
Nah, he can get a decent laptop. Like if he just wants to do 1080p or 1440p 60, he can get a good laptop for that.
Go on BestBuy.com and look up that model. It's a 15-inch. I don't know if you want a 15.6 inch.
Jack chose
15 inches are
gaming laptop over an Xbox. That's weird.
Well, he's in the military.
Not Tony, but Jack moved.
He play
a lot of indies, though.
Smooth. Think about what you just said. Everybody chooses everything over Xbox.
Not me.
Wow, that ain't true.
Yo, but Steam got way more indies on there than Xbox, bro. So I mean,
but they getting there. I mean,
it means not only that, but the amount of Japanese games Steam has been getting lately is
that too.
They're not too far behind PlayStation when it comes to JRPGs, and they're not lacking. And they're not lacking in fighters anymore. So the two genres that PC gaming was severely lacking in, they've got them both covered.
I will say the PC has severely gotten a lot more support for like Japanese and fighting games and stuff like. I mean, there's JRPGs that are on the PC that is not on the PS4. Like
exactly,
like Trails in the Sky and stuff like that. That's still not on the PS4.
But it's but it's also such a heavy platform out there in the eastern side as well. Like PC, like it's really huge out there. Like they got cafes dedicated,
especially
to it.
in China.
Shout
China,
out
they're big
to
PC gamers.
Great 180 for $5. He said, I guess this is for Optimus.
He really got you messed up, didn't he?
So he said, so if it do rain, what would you do you will not cut your grass right? Say whoa, what the hold on.
Say
So
what you
if
do.
he said so if it do rain, what would you do?
What's up, personnel?
You will he said you will not cut your grass.
Smooth.exe has crashed.
Shut up. He said so if it do rain, what would you do? You will not cut your grass, right? Say what you mean and explain what you're talking about.
So I did say what I meant. Yeah, and I am explaining what I'm talking about. So the answer to the question, the question isn't, hey, am I going to get up and go cut my grass in the rain? I mean, I can if I want to. It's my grass. It's
Basically,
my
he said what he won't do, but he never said what he would do.
Exactly. The question is based off of what I said, what is the answer? And the whole point of that is how people take what you say out of context.
Yes.
And now your super chat is a good one because we used to go do these things with like adult education and for people that didn't really graduate high school and like teach them critical thinking and analytical thinking. And people we would go do this little exercise of which that was one of those questions. And people would literally want to argue and fight with you because you said that you want, because in their mind it doesn't make sense to cut the grass in the rain. Therefore, they're going to project that onto what you said. And the exercise isn't about who will cut the grass in the rain. The exercise is about how well you listen to people and what they say versus how much your own thoughts influence what you think they said.
It's listening and reading comprehension. That's two things that a lot of people are really lacking, and they take comments out of context and they think you're implying one thing where you're not because they're imposing their own thoughts on what you're saying.
Exactly.
It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad, honestly.
Yeah. It's not sad.
They're really coming at Smooth today.
It comes down to so for example, the whole like cross generation thing with Xbox. When it comes down to that and like the discussion, why a lot of Xbox guys that I see, right, will get defensive about it is because they see it as, oh, well, the ponies are going to use this as ammo because PlayStation says they're going to have exclusive only games on their consoles. So whenever somebody like Optimus is saying, well, this stuff gets held back or whatever, that's what comes to mind, right, Smooth? Is the ponies coming at you about it?
Fuck them ponies.
But I'm saying, doesn't that what comes to mind when you see somebody like Optimus tweet something like that out?
But that's the type of attitude that you gotta have, Smooth. Like they do this shit because they can get under your skin and they can like just get you all tongue tied and shit. Like you need to keep it cool with these fools, bro.
The ponies keep me tongue tied. I think I do a good job giving it to these ponies for
Smooth. I got some good news for you to talk about. Let's talk about that velocity architecture. They dropped a new video on that.
Yeah, the velocity architecture. This is the thing that's going to be challenging PlayStation's SSD speeds that everybody was busting nuts over. Whatever happened to that conversation? I swear, I don't know.
Oh man,
no. Like for a minute, it was all this hot shit with this SSD, and that shit calmed down, kind of like.
My man said busting nuts.
This is old news. It's old news. We know what PS5's storage architecture is doing.
Optimus code. If you're here, so now velocity architecture. Now I ain't gonna pretend like I know what the fuck I'm talking about when I say that shit, but you have some expertise with all the stuff that's going on in there. Can you kind of explain somehow of like what you thought, what your understanding is of velocity architecture, because it's not just one thing. I guess it's a bunch of shit in the Xbox communicating with each other to do a task.
Yep. So one of the first parts of it is their hardware compression algorithm is more efficient than Kraken, and like there's actually data that can show this. But the key to it is especially good at compressing texture data. So
textures is the big thing.
Yeah, so the size of the files on disk can be small, which obviously means you can fit more of them in a certain amount of space. Then the other counterpart to that is they have hardware accelerated decompression. So you got the BC pack that will compress it down really good, but then you got dedicated hardware to decompress it on the fly to get it back in its uncompressed state. And then on top of that, you got the SRS, which it's a little more difficult to explain, but when you make a texture, So a texture, let's just say a texture is 1,000 pixels by 1,000 pixels, just as an example. But that 1,000 pixels by 1,000 pixel image will have maybe 25 textures on it. Mm-hmm. Like you don't store one individual texture at a time. You have like this map, and you sort of show different sections of that map throughout the world or whatever. What SRS does is it allows developers, instead of loading that whole 1,000 by 1,000 image with the textures in it, it allows them to target a specific area of that MIP and load it only, so that instead of having to load 1,000 bytes worth of data, you only load the 50 that you need. And if developers,
it wouldn't be wasting GPU. Well, it wouldn't be wasting VRAM at all.
It makes it more efficient, so that the GPU isn't loading 1,000 bytes when it only needed 50. But the key is, like, developers, it's going to take skilled developers, right? Which there are plenty of them. But this is another tool that, when they all put together, will allow more efficient storage retrieval of streaming assets. And I think their estimation was it'd get you up to like around 12 gigabytes if used correctly and wisely and all that good stuff. So it's definitely no joke, and it is definitely something to be excited for. But it's going to be the same thing again. But you can't use it on the One X because it doesn't exist, and you can't use it on PC because it doesn't exist. So there really won't be any games designed around this stuff. Games will benefit from it later. They can load faster. Even later, that PC minimum spec is going to have to come way up.
Well, not just no. So the minimum is gonna the minimum doesn't have to come up that much. I think the recommended. So like for a lot of new like AAA titles coming into the future, like 2021, 2022, especially on PC, you're gonna see that recommended spec be bumped up a little bit.
No, in order to design around it. Well, think more like Star Citizen. In order to design around it, where
I'll catch you guys
our gameplay. All right, bro. When you say our game must have this ability, then your minimum spec also must have it.
Yeah, but the recommended is gonna be pretty hefty as well.
Didn't they say they're going to be able to take advantage of like velocity architecture on PC via DX12 Ultimate? Like in Jason's round.
Well, no, that's a different thing. So DX12 Ultimate will be there, and so I don't know if y'all. So the one guy with the beard, what's Jason the Xbox?
Jason Ronald.
So yeah, he definitely sidestepped the question. It was pretty funny, but of course, that's his job. That's what he has to do. So the idea is, hopefully, on PC, because the CPUs on PC are so powerful that the PC's processor can do what the dedicated hardware decompression on Xbox does, that the extra power that's in the PC chips can actually handle that instead. So they're going to definitely try to find a way to still accomplish the same thing, leveraging the better CPUs on the PC. But right now, we don't actually know what's going to happen. That's just one of the ideas.
So Microsoft specifically said this. They said that to deliver similar levels of decompression performance in software require more than 4 Zen 2 CPU cores. Cerny also said the same thing about his dedicated co-processors that did their equivalent of like 3 Zen 2 co-processors or 3 Zen 2 cores, but they just use those specifically. They're not even touching the 8-core 16 threads in terms of storage architecture at all, because they have those dedicated co-processors. And Microsoft is doing something similar with their decompression scheme as well.
Yeah, so in order to get that on the PC, since you won't have that decompression block, then you still have to get those textures decompressed, and the CPUs are so much more powerful that the idea is then we'll just use this. But again, you can't have a trash chip either. So it's all based on that minimum spec.
You have to actually program for that as well, to actually utilize those like 2 or 3 specific cores in somebody's PC for decompression.
Well, see, that's where DX12 Ultimate will come in, because it should handle that stuff for you. So yeah, you just use the API, would specify the configuration, and then those tools should actually handle a lot of that stuff for you.
Which I'm straight because I got a 3900X. So yeah.
Yeah, you should probably be good.
Tony Wood 25 again. He says, "Why cats talking about SSD when Sony can't even make games at 60 frames per second?"
Okay, look here. I don't know. Y'all know I love Xbox, and like I'm not gonna front.
I don't know.
There is zero reason to try to slander any PlayStation game at any frame rate because everything they do is top notch, and I just don't understand why people throw rocks at them. Them people ain't done nothing to you.
Throw rocks at all. You might see a pebble here and there.
I mean, I can see how throwing it at the PlayStation community, but Sony themselves, all they do is deliver top-notch content.
Nah, I give them that. Yeah, I give them that.
But not only that, we have 60 frames per second games on the PS4. Like I've seen people on Twitter say, "Oh, these 30 frames per second game, that's not next gen." Well, neither is 60 because there's been 60 frames games since like freaking Super Nintendo and shit like that. We've always
had. You see what he's saying? Now we can throw rocks at Chris. That makes sense. Throwing rocks at him, but why throw rocks at Sony, man?
That's true. I give it. Yeah, you know what?
They hate in the comment section.
I hate when people like go at the developers. Like, just go at the publishers, dog. Like, I don't really be trying to trash too many.
Most of the time,
developers.
That is true. So I'm glad you said that. Now, it's not true 100% of the time, right? But the majority of the time, 97, 98% of the time, the developer almost always wants to do what's best for the gamer. But they have to fight with the publishers. The publishers always going to want to do what's best for the investors.
Yep.
Sometimes that clashes. Sometimes the developer and the publisher are the same, so you don't really have that. But the majority of the time, the publisher is focusing on that bottom line, and the dollars always win. Always.
Yeah.
Unless you're somebody like Rockstar, where your campaign is strong enough, you can do what you want.
So here's another thing, right? Talking about the velocity architecture, because, I think the past 2 months, I've been saying this about the PS5, and Microsoft, word for word, is saying the same shit I've been saying about the PS5 storage architecture that they're doing, right? It says modern games, and they're talking directly about direct storage, right? They're saying modern games perform asset streaming in the background to continuously load the next parts of the world while you play. And direct storage can reduce the CPU overhead for these I/O operations from multi-cores to take a small fraction of a single core, which is exactly what I've been saying about PS5 as well. But people have been saying, "Oh, we don't know. When engineers from Sony have been saying that.
Right. Who said we don't know? That was one of the very first things.
People on Twitter, people in this chat, everywhere.
You could tag me on that.
We don't know that. And I'm like, Cerny said this. Other engineers have been saying this. People from Microsoft are saying the same exact thing. So I don't understand how people are combating me on the simple fact that, hey, there's dedicated hardware inside these systems that are meant to alleviate a lot of the tasks that the CPU was originally supposed to do. They're taking that task off so that they can use that CPU for other tasks like AI or whatever it may be for the CPU.
Yeah, right. Both manufacturers are doing exactly that. And I mean, that's well known. I'm not sure, unless you just being trolled. I don't know who would even argue.
Yeah, you being trolled, man.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Because we hold on. Why do we have to how come people just don't do their research? Why do we keep having to explain this whole old?
Well, that ain't fair, Chris.
When it comes to PC,
everybody don't understand. That's why, because
that's the issue.
Yeah,
no, but I see the same people in the chat asking the same questions every week.
Oh well, I don't know nothing about that. My fault, player.
And I would literally send the screenshot from Sony's presentation about the custom I/O unit.
Well, if
cracking
that's
decompressions.
the case, how come PC games don't old PC games don't hold back the new PC games and stuff like that? Can you explain that one more time, Optimus Code? Because these people still don't get it.
They do. Oh my God! Every PC game is held back. Every single one with design.
Thank you.
So, just stop with that. PC players are accustomed to getting GIMP designs, but those GIMP designs have so much better graphics and frame rate that they are content with the upgraded fidelity. But the design is the same. PC games do not innovate. Well, that ain't true. Those indie games will, because they take more chances and they can do more stuff because ain't no publisher bossing them around telling them what to do. But as far as AAA games and that type of stuff, on the PC, you get the same design that the console gamers get. You just get better graphics. Every PC game is held back to the minimum spec. That is why Star Citizen is such a big deal, because Star Citizen has said we're going to design around a higher spec, and without it, you will not be able to run the game.
And that game looks crazy.
Yeah,
that joint looks crazy.
It's the same thing when Crisis. Remember when Crisis came out? There was a lot of PC.
Yeah, Crisis also forced people to upgrade. Yeah.
Yep.
But also, it's this like, I mean, we can assume about design when it comes to like unreleased titles or something that's about to be released, but we ultimately don't know until or even unless a dev comes out and they specify and they list what
know what,
like the design change or whatever was held back. We don't know what their original vision was unless they come out and say something.
It depends. It depends because sometimes to your point, sometimes some devs do come out with early. Some devs do come out early and show you your game really, really early, and then that's when you see downgrades.
Like we see like some changes, like we see all right, like the infamous Ubisoft shit. But what I'm saying is that like we usually have to wait, or we'll get early like beta footage or something like that to see, all right, what their original vision was for the title, and then like given however long that dev time is, by the time it comes out, things ultimately change. Like they inevitably change. So it's just like with the whole thing with Cyberpunk. Like I didn't even know that there was like that there was car customization in the fucking game. Like I literally didn't know. So like when they said that wasn't in there, I was kind of shocked. Like, but I didn't expect that to be like a thing. But when they did say that the wall running was taken out, I was kind of shocked at that. But still getting how dense the area is, and like how very populated it's going to be like vertically and everything, like just like it's not like a flat out large zone, kind of like how The Witcher 3 was.
Okay, I'm glad you said that like because I have heard people on Twitter try to say until you know what their design was and what they was trying to do, you won't know if it's held back. And now I get why people are saying that, because that's a good example that you gave, but there's another side that you're not looking at, which is what we're talking about. Well, what I'm talking about. Yeah. And when I say you don't have to wait. And so here's my point to that. I agree with you. It is true that sometimes you need to understand what their original vision was to know if they were able to hit it or not. Absolutely. But that's not what I'm talking about. Mark Cerny, with his presentation, said the thing that they did is they spent 2 years talking to developers about what do you want. Microsoft said the same thing. They spent time talking to developers about what do you want. The number one request on every side was we need an SSD and we need more I/O. We need faster throughput. Given that is the number one dev request, we don't have to wait for nothing to see if their design was compromised, because we know that if they had access to the fast I/O throughput, that their designs would have used it, because that's the one thing that everybody wants. Well, a better CPU was the second. Actually, GPU was like third or fourth on the list.
The GPU you can always get.
But it's just like my thing. It was just like, what were they going to implement? Like, we know, like, all right,
but it don't matter.
This is what they needed or what they wanted. But I'm just saying, like,
given that they can't use it, you know that their design was held back. You don't have to make all the
They had to make compromises.
Just in general, that's what you're saying. It's just like in general, the design is held back. Like, I get that, but I'm just saying,
I'm talking about from going from this gen to next gen.
Yeah, to the next gen. Yeah.
Yes, I'm not talking about like all the games that just come out before, or all the games that will come out in the future. I'm talking about right now, given that the number one request for every developer surveyed was I/O throughput. It is ridiculous to think that they wouldn't have designed their game around that I/O throughput if they could.
Something differently, like if they could. Yeah.
So I'm only talking about right now going from one step to the next.
Nothing. See, it's like when we always heard that something was held back, like it was like somebody coming out after the fact, and they were like, "Yeah, we couldn't put this on here because of that," or like we couldn't implement this or that. So I was like, once these things were kind of like just sticking to like Cyberpunk, how that's changing, and everybody's just kind of like they're getting down on the game just because so much is being taken out. Like, not myself, I'm still very excited about it, but it was just like I just kind of figured that like some of these things wouldn't be able to be done. Like given the time that they started working on this game with these consoles in mind and everything, I just figured that certain things were going to be done, just kind of basing it on other things that have been taken out of other games. Sure. So it's just like that they couldn't run them, with these consoles. So I didn't expect so much. I don't even expect the amount of population to be as they showed it, like on these consoles. I just don't. So it's just like I'm just basing it off because like we had that game at the beginning of the gen. It was like 2013-14, where they tried to cram so many zombies on the screen or some shit like that. Yeah, and it was like, I mean, they said that they even wanted more, but they couldn't do that. Cause like you saw how the game ran and everything. Like it was
they tried
chugging.
to push it to a limit, and they just
exactly.
It wasn't made efficiently. I think you're going to see much more efficient designed games. This next generation, especially with a lot of the hardware innovations that we're seeing right now. People don't understand
for sure.
The quality of these games that you're going to see, especially from these really like well-renowned developers. I'm pretty sure a lot of these first-party developers are going to program to the metal. Like they're gonna utilize as much performance as they can, and especially when it comes down to using direct storage and using the the sampler feedback, SFS. Like you need to be very skilled, like Optimus said. Mm-hmm. So if you find a developer that can program for that specific feature and make loading in assets into GPU memory much more efficient, that's where you're going to see those higher quality games. And then other things aside, like the UI of the system is going to be much more smoother, multitasking and everything like that. Like it should overall just going to be a much more powerful system than what we currently have right now, especially for a lot of people that do not play on PC. They don't want to buy high-end hardware and stuff like that. You're going to have that experience for like sub $500.
All right, shout out to Tony Wood, 25. He said for $5, Sony like people like you. You can touch your toes, but I'm paying $70.
He's stupid.
Oh man,
I say that.
He said Sony like people like you. You can touch your toes, but I'm paying $70 for sub 1080p 60 games, Microsoft or Sony.
Games ain't gonna be 70, bro. I think people jump the gun on that.
The crazy thing is the way that they're getting around that. A lot of the games that's up for pre-order right now, because they're like for cross-play or smart delivery, you buy them for their regular game price. Like
right.
I just spent $100 for that Mamba Edition 2K20.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a game like 2K is normal. Like people usually like the I would say I ain't gonna say the majority, but you know what I mean. Like people normally just drop like 100. Yep.
But they were still charging. Like they're still charging. Like the issue with the price for me is just like the difference between physical and digital. Like you got digital in 60, then you got like the physical cost in 50, and it's just like, why is that? And that's like a digital, like I don't know. I know it's like it's such a small number, but it still bothers me because it's like, I mean, why is there a difference here? Why is it slated against like the digital version of when you have to actually press a damn disc to do the physical version? Like that should cost extra money. That's extra steps. Like it's just, it doesn't make sense to me.
If anybody want to piss Smooth off, just ask him, is he buying 2K or NBA Live? That's shit.
Oh yeah.
Who does not buy 2K other than Smooth buying Live? Who does not buy 2K?
Live was okay.
I don't play 2K at all.
I need basketball game in my life, so I'm going to buy 2K this year. I just got to learn how to play.
You ain't got no choice.
I just got to learn how to play.
I added 2K20 to my library only because it was free on PS Plus, but I don't even know if I play it.
Bruh, it's not a bad game. It's just they put too much stuff behind a paywall. Like, yo, I got a player that's 70 overall. He's an NBA two-time. He's been in the season for 2 years, and he cannot catch a rebound. Like, they just won't let him. Like, it's like they want me to buy VC. I'm like,
the game is designed around.
Hold on, do you practice with your dude?
I practice. Hey, I swear I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I really was practicing. Like, I was going to practice every day. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to practice every day. I'm gonna catch this ball. You feel me?
This man treating that shit like real life, bro.
Man,
like
2K is no. But I keep playing. I think that's how they get me. But I ain't give up yet. I ain't get no VC yet. But I'm still playing, and I'm like, yo, I be acting like smooth on that joint.
Still a 70 overall.
It's not easy, bro.
Let me tell you what you do. I mean, this is what I've been doing for months. Switch your default search engine to Bing. Make sure you logged in, and every time you do a search, you're gonna get these Microsoft points. Go to the Microsoft website every day. They got this little. You just do these 3 things. You take a poll.
Oh yeah, question. I got that. That.
So do that every day. Get your streak up to like more than 7, 8, 10 days. Every day you get 200-300 points. Make sure you do all your searches.
Damn,
all of them points, save them up to as an Xbox gift card. You got different denominations: $5, $10, $20, but it don't matter. It's not real money. I have like 3 years of Game Pass that I paid for using only Microsoft points, but they won't let me do it again because you can only stretch it out for so far, and whatever that limit is, yeah. So I've got like 30,000 points just sitting there. And you take that, you turn it into gift cards. You take those gift cards and you buy you some VC, and you ain't spent no money, and your dude advanced, and you can be 99 like everybody else.
Oh yeah, we got another piece of news that was reported on today by Bloomberg and Business Insider. It says that Sony is to double production of PS5.
Up in their production.
They're expected to produce 10 consoles by March of 2021.
Yeah, by the fiscal year. They're saying that they're projecting to sell at least 10 million, and they're ramping up the production at launch from 6 million to 9 million. Yeah. So that's what they're saying. I don't know anything about that.
I wait and see all that stuff to me.
Right now supply chains are returned to normal, and demand is up. Like people want gaming consoles, especially next generation consoles as well. So I think Sony wants to meet that demand for sure. They want to make as much money as possible, especially with that digital edition, because they can lock you into the PlayStation Store and make more margin off their own sales.
Yeah, and they say they can make a PS5 every 30 seconds. Remember?
What?
Bro, stop, bro.
What do you mean, bro? All right, you want me to send you the link?
No, I believe they probably said it, but everything.
I want to see the link. I don't believe
this is what I be saying, man. Like, we can't just go off and just because people say certain things. It might be PR, dog. Like, that's why.
You're right, but at the same time, you can't always deny them either.
No, I'm not denying.
But it's
this is what's being reported.
What you're saying, you can't be gullible of everything that people are saying, right? But at the same time, you also can't be skeptical about what everything people say as well too.
It's proper to be skeptical.
You start out skeptical and let them prove it to you.
Hey man, hold up.
Yeah, no, that's true. I agree with that.
When this whole thing, like, this is what people remember back then when Crap Gamer got mad at Phil Spencer when Quantum Break went to PC. Yo, I was upset with Phil too. Like, this is the thing. Here's the thing. I didn't go on like social media and express it, but he was telling us one thing and another. I found out then. Like, I knew back then that, like, dude ain't too good with PR. Like, he's not. I mean, I like Phil. He's doing great things. He brought the culture back. He brought these developers want to come and go to Xbox now. You know what I mean? They wanted to leave at first. So I like him for that. But he's not good at PR, bro. Like, let's just be honest. Like, and some dude like Jim Ryan.
I think we just have to understand that it is PR. And when he says things like, don't go challenging technical realities, like, that's a waste of time.
All right, so here it is, right? And this is reported from various GameStop, Newsbreak, PSU,
put it in the chat,
Tweetown, or whatever. Now I put it, but I'm gonna read it. It says Sony's new Japanese production facilities are capable of assembling a PlayStation console every 30 seconds, according to a recent report from Nikkei Asian Review and subsequently spotted by the Eagle Eye folks over at Tweaktown.
And they the
Who the
same
hell is
people that said
Tweaktown?
Tupac was alive.
Yeah, who the hell is Tweaktown, dog?
So they got cyborgs and shit over there. That's what you telling me. Like,
I don't know.
They made robots over
Get
there.
him Death Grips.
I don't know. That's what they're reporting.
And how manufacturing is over there in Asia is very advanced. We in America, American corporations outsource all of our manufacturing, well, most of our manufacturing over there as well. So I don't think it's 30 seconds, but I'm thinking it's a couple minutes that they can make a PS5 probably.
That's what I'm saying.
Depending on the
My
machinery.
man said 30 seconds. Though,
30 seconds flat. I don't know. Like I might get a defective unit day one.
I don't know. I'm not in there, so I can't deny or confirm.
But hey, now the report about ramping up production, I do believe, because over there in Asia, factories are opening back up. Apple's getting back on track. Microsoft is on track, and Sony's getting back on track right now with the manufacturing process of their consoles. So if they're gonna get 10 million units out day one, which I do believe they want to get 10 million units out to sell to customers because of demand.
Yeah, not day one.
That's a possibility. Well, not day one, but by the end of the fiscal quarter of Q4, they're gonna get it.
I mean, I agree with that, and I do actually have quite a bit of experience with manufacturing overseas, China specifically, and yeah, like it's no joke over there. There's no doubt about that. It's no joke, but some stuff is just unrealistic. But that is not to cast any aspersion on what they can actually do or not.
Yeah, I ain't saying they not. I'm just saying, man. Like,
I'm just saying.
My man got the source from Tweaktown,
That's
baby.
all I'm saying.
Tweaktown.
I read that from GameSpot.
Yeah, but when you was reading it, it said that from
the source
from a source in Tweaktown.
Right, in Tweaktown.
It sounds like a place you go to.
No,
you in a resort.
Tweak. I know about.
Sound like somewhere out of Super Mario Galaxy.
What you say, Jay?
Tweaktown,
oh yeah, I got you.
Tweaktown. They've come out with some pretty reputable articles, especially when it comes on the PC hardware and reviewing PC hardware and stuff like that. And getting them.
Oh, you know what? I do remember Tweaktown.
Yeah, Tweaktown isn't the Don't come at those guys. I know
who all on the panel was actually trying to get a PS5, because the less y'all do, the more likelihood that I can actually get one on release.
But you already know.
You'll be good.
One, man.
You'll be good.
I should be able to afford it this year.
I'm getting one, but
well, I don't know,
man.
man.
I ain't gonna be in tears if I don't, because I'm gonna have that Series X. But I plan on getting one.
Miles and Aloy.
I might not be able to afford one, man, because I gotta get a Series X.
Get it during tax time.
Go with that
tax season.
There's nothing you can say.
Nah, I'm getting a PS5 day one.
Hey, tax season, baby.
Nah, I want to play some games on PS4 on there.
Because the Xbox Series X is gonna be releasing at least like a whole month or 2 months shy of the PS5 release.
So you remember, Smooth? I don't know if you remember or not. I'm assuming you remember, but on Xbox.com, they had the Xbox Series X ad up, and it said, like it was the day after Christmas.
I remember what you was talking about.
Damn,
they took it down. Yeah, because it was spreading around, and when you went back, they had taken it down, and they had replaced it with
I seen Rand post it, and then he said, they took it down. I'm like, damn.
That was true. Like, it had a date on it, and I know the date was the day after Thanksgiving.
It was like November 20. I'll tell you right now what day it was.
Yo, that was crazy. I remember that. It was so quick.
I think it was November 24th. No, it was November 27th. My bad. November 27th.
Yeah, there was an actual date. So, assuming that was true, I think we sort of know the date for the.
I don't think that's the date, though. I don't.
Okay, what you think it is?
You know why I don't think that's the date for a couple games? Cyberpunk's the 19th. Assassin's Creed's the 17th of November. I don't think the console comes out after those games. I actually think the console comes out a decent amount of time before those.
Those are multi-plat.
I think November.
Yeah, but
October?
I think both consoles November.
I think October, because the Xbox is coming with Halo and they don't want to have a crash course with Cyberpunk. Not to say that they worried about sales because they got Game Pass. It's playtime.
Right, just decent.
Okay,
yeah.
so first week of November.
He's saying October.
You got to think about this, Moose. They've already had this plan, and Cyberpunk just delayed their game to November. Do you think they're gonna push it up because of Cyberpunk?
No, but you also got to think the original plan was to release the Series X in August.
Yeah,
I heard you
that's
say
the original
that the
plan.
other
Okay,
day.
but I haven't seen.
but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, okay, that's just a rumor. But what if they say, okay, we're just gonna release November 8th, right? Then all of a sudden, a month, 2 months later, Cyberpunk says, oh, our game is being delayed to November 17th. You think Xbox is gonna be like, whoa, we don't want to close to. We're gonna push
Cyberpunk
it up.
wasn't.
No, they're not gonna do that.
But they also have the marketing
enhancements,
rights,
the
though.
optimized version for Series X of Cyberpunk wasn't coming this year anyway. It was supposed to come out early next year.
Yeah.
So that wasn't going to be an issue. It's like, we could play it on our Series X, but it wasn't going to be the next gen version until early next year when they did the upgrade. Now, the thing is, if Lockhart is still real, the plan is from what they're saying, the plan is to still be a staggered release. So in the Xbox Series X is still primed to come out before this the Lockhart.
Wow.
Here's the thing, like, you have to remember, especially when it comes to technology and gaming, like, things are moving targets. They can move things up or down, however they want. Because they could say, hey, we're dropping Xbox Series X in December.
The Series X is not dropping
do
in
that.
December.
I don't think they would do that. It wouldn't make sense.
I don't think it's dropping in November at all. I think October is the month that I think October and month both of them can drop. But I think Series X is guaranteed October.
I think either late October, early November. Either one. You can drop it the last week of October or first week of November. But the real question
think they're gonna release a date
who's
next
dropping
week?
first? Who's dropping first?
Series
PlayStation
X.
or Xbox?
Xbox. They're coming first.
Xbox is coming first.
How do you know, Smooth? How do you know?
Dude, I am the best bot, and
No shit.
You get a lot of things wrong.
I'm super
shit.
confident.
He's talking to Aaron Greenberg.
How many things have you gotten wrong that you were super confident about?
Dude, I actually think
at one point you got to reevaluate your thinking.
I'm
Crash
real.
Bandicoot.
Man, he trying to stop the best bot,
and
man.
I think I know I got a strong feeling that the Series X is coming out before the PlayStation and it's coming out before the month of November.
Hey, Smooth, what
You've had a lot
video?
of strong feelings before, and you've been wrong before. I'm not saying you're wrong this time, but I'm just saying.
So Smooth, what was that video you posted in the DM? I checked it out, and I see where you getting that from. Like, I watched that video you put in there.
What video?
It was one of them videos. You said it's a good video. It was about the same thing you saying. The guy breaking down his predictions. I don't know his name.
I think that was for the game showcase, wasn't it?
Yeah. For the game showcase,
He mentioned that in there.
Yeah, because it's not a secret. Had it not been for this damn COVID thing, they revealed the console in December, dude. Like, mad
That's
early.
True. They did. They really did. It seemed like they ready.
And remember, Digital Foundry went out there in February, March. That's mad early, dude. Him
and Austin Evans.
You got to think about it. So, let's say E3 came in with all this stuff we're waiting for tomorrow. We would have already known already.
Yeah, we would have known. We would have had all the games being dropped. We would have had the release date and price.
What's wrong with this nigga, bro?
So I think that I feel like things moved around a little bit and stuff like that, but I still think Xbox Series X is coming out. Xbox console will come out in November. Just the Series X is coming out before that. I think this Lockhart will come out in November, to meet PlayStation 5 on its release week, with that being $200 cheaper than it is going to do that. And then the enthusiasts is going to be able to get their Series X in October. And if I'm lucky, I wish it was sometime late September. But
so Smooth, let me ask you something. This question is only for Smooth.
Yep.
Only for Smooth. Say the Lockhart comes out and it's $200 cheaper than the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your belief that the Lockhart will then outsell the PlayStation 5?
He gonna say yeah.
I'll say yeah.
Look at him.
Sorry,
man.
He wants to believe yes.
I would like to believe, but I just know because people are stupid. So they'll buy a PlayStation 5.
Wow. So now the consumer.
Damn.
With DLC.
But
damn.
No, there's power. There's power in the brand of PlayStation. I think a couple things will have to happen. I mean, could it? I'm sure it could, but I think overall what would have to happen if PlayStation is still going to have some like.
Hey, Smooth. Can you mumble that in English, please?
All right, hold up. If the PlayStation is going to have like shipment issues and shit, then the Lockhart will also.
Sure. Or like if it's not available, but I'm asking.
But it's not going to have
they both there in the store and they both available.
But how do you know?
If Lockhart
because they just came up and said that they're not.
If Lockhart and PlayStation, let's say they come out head to head the same week in November, PlayStation 5 will outdo it. Whether it's $500 or $600, it'll outdo the Lockhart in its release month. I think the months following, the Lockhart will do a better job, but in launch month, no.
Do you think that the Lockhart will outsell the Series X?
Yeah. Oh, my bad. That's too smooth. My bad.
And like I said, if they were to come out the same month, no. I think the Series X will, because everybody knows what the Series X is. They don't know what, like, I think the Lockhart, they're gonna have to do his marketing. Right now, everybody's hip to Series X. So I think Series X, because what we know about it, we know it's powerful, we know it's big. I think hype alone will allow Series X to sell over. I think in the months following and as things start to mature, Lockhart will sell better than it.
Okay, I appreciate your answers, bro.
Was that a trick question?
No. I hear a lot
of
people talking about friendly, $200 cheaper, and I'm like, what is that actually going to mean in the grand scheme of things? Maybe 2 years from now, it'll mean something, but in the beginning, I don't see that having much impact at all.
Yeah, at launch, I don't think it's going to do anything.
Yeah.
I think, afterwards, and like tax season and all that stuff, in the middle of summer and stuff, not. But like those launch months when November or October come, nah.
It doesn't matter. People are dropping the bag.
Yeah, we dropping the bag.
Not like in the launch of the systems, it's only gonna be like heavy enthusiasts though. Like it's like, I mean, those lower SKU consoles are the consoles that are coming in for cheap. Those are just for those folks who aren't in that, say, tax bracket. Like they not about to be dropping 500, 600, if that, on a brand new console when they got shit to do. Like gamers,
so that's why Sony are geniuses, because the digital edition of the PS5 could potentially be $100 less. I'm hearing $50 less, but if they're really aggressive, right, and they say, all right, base model PS5 $499, and then PS5 digital edition $399. Come on, like
I don't see any scenario where the PS5 is $400.
Doughboy, roll up. He sounded like a dual shockers journalist. He's like Sony.
But it's just like what Optimus Code said earlier. Shit about like, I mean, you got money, plenty time. You get what I'm saying? Some folks don't have money and they ain't got plenty time. So they not about to be fucking, hey yo, shit, I'm about to drop 500 on this console right quick.
And that's why you have priority. And that's why you have a cheaper version. That's why you have a cheaper version of the console.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like once those enthusiasts get out the way and things kind of like slow down a bit, and they like, all right, so we got like these early numbers in. Then you toss those lower SKU drinks out, and then everybody's like, hey, yo, this drink is still play the newest games, so I don't have to drop 300 plus like extra on that. I can just drop 200, 250 or something like that. People are they're more for that. I'm telling you, like it's an easier number to swallow down than to be like 500. Like I got the 1X just because I was an enthusiast and I was making that at the, you get what I'm saying?
The thing is,
so I could throw cash like that. That ain't the case right now.
All right, we're about to get out of here. The only thing I do want to say is that I don't like about these old school tactics is like wait for this, wait for that, wait for this. Like I'm too tired waiting for freaking pre-order dates and price. I'm gonna buy it. I don't care how much you say it's gonna cost. Like stop waiting wait for a milestone to be able to pre-order the damn thing. Like like the thing about it is that. What's the wait for? Are both these consoles are just going to be like surprisingly expensive, and they want to wait till who goes first, or like if these are going to be traditional console prices, what are we waiting for?
I'm calling it right now. None of them are going to be over 500. None
of them are going to be over 500.
No, they not.
You know what I mean?
Be over
yeah, no, shit. They know not to go that far, bro. They know that.
Smooth. I think the answer to your question is the pandemic that we're going through that everybody talking about. I think they have to be real careful and real sensitive that people's pockets ain't what they once were. And when you are introducing something that's a luxury, you need to be real careful how you position that during these times.
I think, going back to what y'all was saying earlier, I think the whole pandemic thing definitely put a dent in a lot of things. I think we would have already got price and possibly release date for both of these consoles by now if it wasn't for the pandemic. And plus, COVID is still a high level threat, especially out here in the States. Like, there's still spikes everywhere. So, you know, they still got to work around that and like figure out. I'm sure it's a huge mess over there at both Sony and Microsoft and stuff, trying to figure out what they want to do.
Can I piggyback off a question for everybody on that? Because I've been wondering about this. Like, I miss E3, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. This right here, and I know the COVID kind of stunted things for a little bit, like production and everything. But I don't know, man. This I'd rather have it all in 1 week. You know what I mean? Like, what y'all think about? Like,
this Summer Games Fest was trash.
Yeah.
I told you the quality of a lot of these events, these digital events, have been garbage. The only two companies that I've seen so far that had digital events that were actually well put together was Sony and Apple. I like WWDC.
Apple?
That was a really
Yeah, Apple's was nice.
WWDC.
I don't buy.
WWDC was really.
I got
really
a Surface Pro, bro. I ain't about that life.
Well, yeah, if you don't pay attention to Apple, then you wouldn't have seen it. But I've seen the Apple event.
I got my daughter Apple.
It was excellent. Sony's event was really good too. I like Sony's event. Microsoft said that they learned from their May event and that they're planning on making improvements. Hopefully, they took notes and they seen that these other
Ubisoft gonna be fire.
Yeah,
hopefully it's fire.
You gotta talk to me, bro. I
can't.
I'm sick and tired that people keep sending these side tweets and stuff like that, and I'm like, yo, like, why does everybody get to say all this stuff comfortably? And I
heard a lot of people.
I'm sitting here looking at my calendar every day.
I heard a lot of people say that got connections in there, man. Everybody say the same thing.
But remember, so that's next week. So we're for that period next week. Wednesday is the Planet Xbox prediction show. Next Wednesday, we're gonna give our final bold predictions. Hopefully, the show doesn't leak by then. For the Xbox Game Showcase, and then Thursday afternoon we're gonna go live with our live reactions. We could all watch the show together. And hopefully, we all be amazed. And then Friday, after our thoughts is together, I'll be hosting another show for like final impressions and reviews. And from there, the wait for next gen truly freaking starts. Anybody got anything to say before we get out of here?
No, man, I appreciate y'all having me on here. And Smooth, we got to think up another challenge for you, man, before these next consoles drop.
Elden Ring coming out, Optimus. Get him.
Yeah, man.
Battletoads is gonna be a stealth drop. So that might be a challenge.
Oh, yeah, man.
You gonna play that?
I don't think this new Battletoads is gonna be as hard as those.
Ghost of Tsushima hardest difficulty under 20 hours. What's up?
Yo, oh man.
Ooh-wee.
You said 120 hours.
No, under 20 hours.
Oh,
under 20 hours.
How you gonna pad your hours on that game, dope boy?
I'm gonna pad my hours. Hey, I'm not padding my hours in that game. I'm gonna put my completion of the main story out, and then do side quests.
Yeah.
Or I might do side quests while doing the main story. Who knows? I gotta play the game to know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the game. I'm contemplating if I'm probably gonna stream the whole playthrough. I just don't know if I'm gonna play it on hard. I heard the AI is dumb, so I might play it on hard.
Just play it on hard. if you can get through Bloodborne and Sekiro and all that stuff, I'm sure this game at hard is not.
That's right, Smoothie, Sekiro, man.
Sekiro, it shouldn't be as hard as those games. Sucker Punch is making it.
Shout out to Smooth, man, on the stream.
But Elden Ring,
that's gonna be different. That game.
I hope that they show it next week on Xbox.
I hope they do. I hope they do.
Right.
But thank you guys all for watching. Shout out to the 280 plus that tuned in for the show. Thanks to Optimus Code for showing up and making a grand entrance, making this episode a worth listen. So I appreciate you coming through. Shout out
my number one fan, Optimus.
Black Bond. Yeah. Shout out to Persona, Salty, Tony Wood, everyone who showed up into the chat.
Emmanuel.
Yeah, Emmanuel, Jack Move Johnny. So it's good to see you all.
Yeah, Jack Move.
And then of course,
Master Chief.
Great 180, Master Chief.
Master Chief.
You remember Master Chief?
Master Chief.
But,
what was up with that though, man? They talking about they took the Master out Chief or something like that.
Hey, was that a screenshot? Was that a screenshot fan made, or was that a actual screenshot from Halo?
Oh, you talking about when the big robot in the background?
Yeah, he's looking at that was fan made, right? Or was that an
that was fan art actually? Like
fan art.
I thought that was actually like a game jump.
I was gonna say if Halo Infinite looks like that. That shit looks.
You guys didn't see the concept art of Infinite though. It's really promising.
The concept looks dope.
No, I've seen the concept. Some of the concept. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, that would be in third person though.
Like,
some of the artists on that game are pretty insane though.
I'm gonna have to upgrade my PC.
All right,
Halo
guys.
will look good in third person though.
Let me get
everybody.
Chris, didn't you say you was gonna get a Lockhart so that you can say that your PlayStation is more powerful than the Xbox?
Oh yeah.
On that note,
just to be trolled, I was like, "Yo, my Xbox is weak ass dog."
On that note, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We out of here. Peace.
PC Master Race.
I can always get an Xbox.